unmute my mic. Hello, welcome to Crosshatch Creations. We'll fix that up there. Perfect. We are back at it today, and we're doing watercolor today. We did some felting yesterday. If you don't know what felting is, it is a ton of fun. You're taking raw wool and basically stabbing it into a shape. So we did some Pokemon. We have a little Jigglypuff here. We did some Pokeball earrings, which was a blast, and they're really cute. Super fun. And we also made Swablu! Woohoo! So fuzzy and adorable and super cute. If you want to watch the replay, you can jump back and check on that there. Otherwise, we're just going to keep on rocking here. The word of the day is a lot of fun. So I like to do a word of the day because I like learning new, weird, crazy words. And if you use it on stream, I'll give you extra globs. Woohoo! So I did a bunch of fankling yesterday. Oh, I didn't even say the word. Mr. Dave Beard is on it. Yeah, you can see it down here. The word of the day is Scottish. It is fankle. So it means to tangle or entangle something. So yeah, I did a lot of fankling yesterday. Basically in felting, you're knotting the wool together. So that's pretty cool. Today I'm pretty stoked. We are going to make a watercolor Palico. Hello. My webcam is fuzzy. Palicos, I did not understand the adorableness of Palicos until I played Monster Hunter World. Woohoo! Your Palico in Monster Hunter, I'm not sure if it's in all of the games. Would you know, Mr. Dave Beard? Are Palicos in all the games? I've only just played the new one, so I'm a pretty new Monster Hunter. Are these adorable little, look at them. They're these little cats that are your wonderful helpers. So they'll like bring you health, and they help you fight monsters, and they help you find loot, and they're really, really cute. I've been in either all or most of the games. Okay, there you go. So Palicos are just all over the place. And they're super cute. So this is just a basic Palico in the corner here. You get to customize your Palico and have it look however you want, which is really cool. So this is just a basic one in the basic leather armor. So you can also get armor and upgrade your Palico. So they're amazing. They're adorable. We're going to draw one today. We're going to watercolor it. And depending how fast we go, we might just ink them at the same time. I'm going to do the Ladybug armor. Freedom Unite on the PSP, or at the very least. That's the first one you played. Oh, Mr. Dave Beard is my resident all-knower of everything Monster Hunter, which is pretty sweet. I'm doing the Ladybug armor because it's really cute, and if you've seen any of my streams, you know I'm quite the fan of cute things. And I'm going to make my Palico from Monster Hunter because I love my Palico. I'll show you a quick image here. This is my Palico, also my reflection. My Palico's name is Ganache because I thought that was a cute little cat name. So you can kind of see there, mine is purple with some stripes. Expert hunter of monsters. Excellent. So we're just going to get right at it. Purple. I don't know why I chose purple. It was one of those like, wow, this is really cool. I can make a purple cat. So, and you can choose like different eye shapes. Okay, I'm going to start with the helmet, I think. You can make different eye shapes, different like fur patterns. They're really, really wonderful and cute. And I like them a lot. So, and the Ladybug armor, and this is, I haven't even unlocked all of the armor. So when I was looking through at what armor I wanted to draw today, I was like, there's so many options. There's some crazy, like, metal skirts, and some of them have awesome faces. One of them, the Palico, had a little mustache, like a fake mustache. If you want to see something adorable, look up a Palico with a fake, or like a cat with a fake mustache. It was a good big bushy one too. It was just like well groomed. Kitties with mustaches. Oh, it's pretty great. Alright. So, Ganache. I don't know why I picked Ganache, really. I just thought it was an adorable name for a cat. Oh, I remember. Before I started playing Monster Hunter, I made Ganache. If you don't know what Ganache is, your world is about to get blown. Just kidding. Maybe. It depends how you feel about chocolate. It's basically like chocolate with heavy cream. And it kind of turns into like almost a moldable fudge chocolate. And I'm going to move this over a bit just because the eyeball, I'm making the tip of the helmet here. So it's like a little ladybug head. The tip of it kind of follows along the line of the helmet, just because my cat is looking at an angle. So I just want it to look flesh to the helmet because you want it to make sense. The ladybug's looking over, so is the Palico. Where the eyes, they follow each other. So anyway, I made this like fudge cake thing. It had like a sponge cake bottom. Oh, it was a mousse. It was a mousse cake with like a chocolate ganache filling or whatever. And I got super sick after eating it. Because it was so good. You know, you eat too much. Also, I should not eat heavy cream. However, I watched one of those like baking shows. And you know when you watch like cooking shows and you're like, I want to make that. And so we had a baking day in the kitchen and made all of this stuff and then ate a lot. And I got sick. And I woke up in the middle of the night in excruciating pain because I shouldn't eat dairy. My body just doesn't like it. And I was like, what is wrong? I'm dying. Like I have appendicitis or something. I did not. Have you ever had a deer cake or a reindeer cake? Only moose cake? Sir, Mr. Dr. Moose Cake. I am a fan of puns, so that's pretty wonderful. I didn't even think of that. If you haven't heard my deer story, I used to think that deer were the girls and moose were the boys, and they interbred. I did not know that they were two different species. Yeah. That's the short version of it. Just because I feel like I've shared it before, and I don't know if that needs to be shared more than once. No, I have not had a Sir Mr. Dr. Moose cake. But now I feel like I really need to make a Sir Mr. Dr. Moose cake. Just like a cake that looks like a moose. With a little monocle. And because that would be Sir, and then Doctor, a monocle and a stethoscope, maybe. And then it would have to be an actual mousse cake, right? Like probably chocolate because moose are brown. A monocle and a stethoscope. Oh, you read my mind. Perfect. Okay, and then the eyeballs here, they're circular, and then they have a little rim. So just following around the line just so it looks right. There's no eyeballs here. This one's at the side, so we only see the side bit here. And then we have, the ladybug has antennae that are sticking up. So they kind of look like little walnuts, perhaps, would be good, like an acorn. Kind of at an angle. They've got some texture in there. I'm just lightly sketching out the critter. just because it gives me a better idea of what I'm painting. And then after we sketch it out. And a tie for the Mr. I didn't even think about Mr. I just thought of like Sir and Doctor. I forgot about Mr. entirely. Sadness. Okay, so a mousse cake with a monocle, a stethoscope, and a tie. Could he do a bow tie, or does it have to be like a tie? Does it matter? I think both would be adorable. Do misters have ties? Okay, so it's kind of like this acorny shape. This other one looks a little bit like a golf club, to be honest. And it's kind of hanging off to the side. And it's higher than the other one as well. It definitely looks like a golf club. It looks like, not a driver, a iron. No, legit tie. No bow tie. No bow ties for this cake. It's a tie. No winners, no losers, a tie. Yeah, this one looks like an iron. I went golfing for the first time this year. It was a belated Father's Day gift, so we took a father in my life. Golfing, which was very interesting. I learned that it's a lot harder than it looks, and it takes quite a bit of skill. It's fun, though, getting to, like, whack things. Although the first hole took me, like, an hour because I'd, like, hit it, and it would go a little bit, and I'd go forward, and I'd hit it, and then it would go a little bit. The guys behind us, like, passed us and would come back because we were taking so long. I think you're supposed to actually do it in, like, 3 or 4 hits. But I did not win. But near the end, I learned that I could hit, like, I couldn't even hit the dang thing. Like, I couldn't hit the golf ball. I learned I could if I, like, bent one leg, and so it looked really improper and goofy. But it worked. I think, no, I'm happy with that point. Okay, so that's kind of the face of the helmet, and then it comes around the side of the face. This I'll probably end up erasing and changing, but I'll just put it there to remember it. Comes around, and that's going to attach to my kitty cat's face. Yay! Palicos are so cute. Actually, yeah, I want that this more. To hug the face. Always wear your helmet. There we go. And this one comes out to the other side too. And I think I'm going to leave that as well for when I do the cat face. I'm just going to finish the top of the helmet. So this comes up behind our antenna and around. And I'm a draw by looker. Fine, if I can see it, I can draw it. I'm always really impressed by people who can draw, like, out of their head. I think it's an incredible skill. One that I would love to practice some more and develop. It comes down and then it kind of comes into a curve. So it's kind of a funny angle. And I'm just looking at the line of the helmet just because this doesn't line up very nicely. I think this up here is a little too fat. So what we're going to do is I'm going to make this more gradual. Just so it looks like it makes a little more sense and is less chunky. Because it looked a little off kilter and uneven, and that's no good. I don't know where my cat's ears are. They're probably tucked away safe inside the helmet. Somewhere it's hiding. Nope. I think I'm going to actually undo what I did. That's the thing about angles, is it kind of like gotta play with it. Yeah, kind of goes down this way. Yes. Okay, now we're gonna get a cat face in here. Cat face. Did you ever watch that? Like, it's this really goofy YouTube about cat face. It's like cat face. He's got a big cat face. He's got the body of a cat and the face of a cat. And he flies through the air because he has a cat face. Cat face. And he's actually a really mean cat. He's not a nice cat at all. Not like our Palicos. Palicos are super helpful. Also Poogie, if you play Monster Hunter, there's this little pig that runs around. And he's really cute. You have to like earn his friendship though. Like you gotta like pet him, but you have to pet him the right way. Or else he gets upset at you and runs away. And you're like, no, cute little pig, come back. And then you're always a little scared because there's like these cook cats as well. And I'm like, please don't take Poogie and turn them into your meal. But I think you eat the monsters you hunt. Would be my assumption. What else are you going to do with it? Okay. Our head is looking flat. And I want it round. So I'm just adding little bits at a time to make it rounder. Alright, so this comes off right at the end of the helmet and down. And now we have an adorable cat face. So here's the real test. This is not at an angle, which it is supposed to be. That's the fun part about sketching. It's kind of just like trial and error and trial and error. Alright. Angle, angle, angle. His face is to the side. I also have some questions hanging out. I really like question for question, which are fun to ask sometimes. So we'll throw some of those in there today too. So, alright, eyeballs. So the nose, just to give us a bit of a center, is right down from our ladybug nose. And it's not too far, so I'm just going to draw a rough little triangle. Just so I know so I knows where I'm going to put it. Maybe that's not a good joke. And then his eye over here is kind of underneath the helmet. They have big, adorable eyes. As most cats do. Have you ever seen, like, looked at a cat eye from the side and how it's, like, clear? Cat eyes are pretty intense. And it actually, the eye at this angle is coming out through the edge. The helmet's a little bit on top of it. So we'll do that for now and figure out what we're doing after. This one is right in the side. Kind of comes down and then this way because we're a 3D creature. And comes around. I always find that you draw one eye that you love. And then you try to draw the next eye and you're like, oh, and then you can't get the eyes to match. Or you draw the perfect eye and then it's too big. And then it's like, oh, I have to erase it and make it smaller. I think that's good. And then I'm going to play with this one over here too. Okay. This one is less, there's a big down swoop on this one. This one is a little less because it's, again, at an angle and is more rounded. So I'm impressed with, like, video game artists that come up with all these, like, crazy, especially Monster Hunter. Like, it's been around, there's a lot of Monster Hunter games. There's not maybe a lot, but there's a decent amount for sure. And I'm amazed at the people. This one's at a bit of a funny angle, a little too much, so I'm going to take it away. I'm surprised at how people can still be thinking up new monsters. I know sometimes they'll repeat monsters and add some more, but like the fact that you can keep thinking up new monsters is crazy. I feel like at some point my brain would be like, I don't know what else to do. I'm sure you could find inspiration from somewhere. Okay, that's looking more I like. And it's a little too big. So we'll cut some of it off. Away with you, eyeball, away. Calm your heart out with a spoon. What's that? That is... Oh, Robin Hood. That's what I'm thinking about. My favorite smell ever, I think. It's one of my questions. What's your favorite smell? I really like the smell of... I'm going to move the nose up because it looks like it's a little too far down. Up here a bit. I love the smell of rain, like fresh rain. We got to do the other side of the helmet here as well. So it's kind of on this line angle. Yes. So again, kind of, there's an angle there because it's coming around the face. It's starting to look helmet-ish. I really enjoy the smell of rain. Just because everything smells so clean and fresh. I'm actually going to bring it down a little more as well. Because the cats have little chubby cheeks. And it goes around the cheek. So we'll put the cheek in first. We'll get a little cheeky. Just a little bit. I once had... Was it a teacher? I think I did have a teacher that used to be like, don't be cheeky. Expressions make me smile. Just because there's so many odd ones out there. Okay, so now the helmet's coming around the face. Behind the little cheeks. And we're good to go here. Okay, now we're going to do our other cheek. It always makes me sad when your Palico gets hit, too. Because you're, like, fighting this monster, and then it gets hit, and you're like, oh, don't touch the Palico. Alright. So, it's a cat. So, it's got a snout-like face. So, it actually has a little bit of a... I'm drawing a line just so I can figure out where I'm going. Your usual cat nose. They're pretty tiny, actually. I found these really cool things for crafts. They're little animal noses. I think it's for if you're making, like, a stuffed animal. But they're little animal noses you can, like, stub into fabric or something. And I was like, what is that? That is too cute. And I'm a little off-centered, so I'm going to move this over, too. I feel like moments like these... is when digital art is really handy because you're like, I don't like where I put that. And then you can just pick it up and move it over. And our cat's looking at an angle, so I'm going to actually add a bit of an angle to the nose so it looks like it's straight on the face. And I mean, he could have a crooked nose. Maybe he got hit in the face in battle or something. But we're going to say this Palico has been taken care of. Although there's been many a monster hunt where I'm pretty sure my Palico has done half the work, and I probably wouldn't have succeeded very well if it wasn't for my Palico. Thanks, guys. You're awesome. So, cute little snout. My Palico, Ganache, his snout is white. That's a little too chubby. Looks like a hamster. I also love Hamtaro. I watched a lot of well, not a lot of Hamtaro, but because it was never on. But it was adorable, cute little hamsters. Then I had a hamster, and named it Hamtaro. Probably as did many other a child. Okay. So we kind of got a snout going on here. And it goes around like this, and then the mouth is white. And the face is purple, kind of like a lilac color. And goes down a little bit here, actually, just because it's going to be attaching to the neck. Palicos also stand on their hands and feet, but they run around like cats as well. Alright. I think our Palico needs an eyeball. Things always look really funny before they have pupils in them. The thing with drawing, you're looking at it like, what is that going on? It looks a little evil. Alright, let's give our Palico an eyeball. you can change as well when you're making your Palico what their eyes look like. I gave mine really big cat eyes, kind of like the Puss in Boots. Big eyes. Because I think they're really, really cute. And they're blue. I gave them one green eye and one blue eye because I was like, you can give your Palico different colored eyes? Yeah, please. And this looks a little too deep. The little divot there. So I'm going to go around like this. Just think about being left-handed too. I mean, I have known like some right-handed people who, this is actually, I want to make this a little bigger, who do this as well, but my hands rub all over my pictures. So that's why I have this wonderful gummy eraser, because then I can just rub it across and it picks up all of my lead that I've pushed all over the place. And I'm going to give the eye a little more definition as well. It kind of goes up and then droops over. It's almost square-like. So just a little flat here, and then doesn't come to a point. It's not like an almond eye. It's a kitty cat eye. Yeah. And we're gonna add some pupils because we need those to see. I never understood where the term pupil came from when it comes to like a student. Students are pupils. I never quite understood that. Alright, and we got some glossy, glowy eyes going on here. So we'll jump in those reflectors and give them nice, big pupils. And color them in so it looks less. Less crazy. This I think needs to be a little more square. I'm looking at this helmet and it looks a little funny to me. So I think this needs to come up a little more and be a little higher. Let's fill in the eye first. I'm going to poke at it until I like it. It's how you do stuff, right? You just keep poking. I also enjoy the smell of like fresh baked. I'm currently trying to like fundraise to help get some sound systems. So for some friends I have in India. And I'm going to end up making 1 million cinnamon buns tomorrow because I'm selling cinnamon buns. And right now I have 6 dozen. Which is great. I'm just like, my house is going to be very, very fragrant. It's fun. Cinnamon buns are like super easy to make. So, okay. Helmet. Cooperate. Do you need to be higher? Is that what's going to make you look better? Or rounder? Maybe I'll just connect it. I'm going to come back. Sometimes things don't work and it's like, I'm going to come back later. Schools used to be more strict, and if students could potentially die if they were late. What? Hence the term pupil, die if late. Dilate. So pupil. Is that true? That sounds like a joke. I'd buy it though. I think that's a great story. I feel like that's a one-liner right there. Die if they're late, so die late. Oh, that's a groaner. Oh, that's good. I'm really gullible. So sometimes I believe things Mr. Dave Beard tells me, and he's totally pulling my chain. It's amazing. Patent pending. Joke right there. Okay. We're going to make a little... The shirt that this Palico is wearing has a little bow tie. So he's not a mister. Because, you know, we talked about how real ties, not bow ties. So we'll just bring it down here. We'll add some shadow in here later. I'll just do a little scribble so I remember to do it. just to show its neck. They kind of lean and hunch forward the way they walk, and their arms are out front and their paws are out here. So he's leaning forward. And there's a little bow tie, which I really want to draw. So we're going to draw that right now. To be honest, I kind of chose this armor to draw just for the bow tie. Some of cats in bow ties and cats in mustaches. It's just cute. I saw a little girl walking around the other day. She's like pretty little in like these cute little high heels. And it was adorable. And she's clinking and clunking along the main like concourse area at my work, and the dad comes up and buys something from the cafe I'm at, and I'm like, is that your daughter? Her shoes are really cute. And he looks at me and goes, yeah, I'm pretty sure our downstairs neighbors hate us. And I'm like, oh, I guess if you're clunking around. It's cute though. I fall whenever I wear heels. I just fall over. I feel like I could have my own comedy special, just Sarah attempting to walk in heels. Although I did find when it's really snowy in the winter, high heels are great. I mean, ice is a little dangerous, but high heels are awesome for getting through snow, because you stick your heel into the snow and let it sink, and you basically have flats, but you're anchored into that snow. So you're not moving. It's awesome. Kind of hard to walk, but you know you're not going to fall over. And then you hit ice and then you fall on your face. There we go. I made it a little wider. So let's see if that helps. The helmet situation. I mean, not the shoes. I don't know if I'll ever be able to walk in heels. Thin heels. I can kind of do the thick ones. I've yet to try wedges, but they kind of scare me a bit. Oh, sneakers. Sneakers are my friend. Okay. That's a little better, I think. Possible. Possibly. I think this is my problem that's messing me up, is this little thing right there. And I'm going to change that angle to be right there. There! That's better. Okay, I'm going to throw this on for kicks and giggles. It's got little ladybug splotches on his helmet. So we're going to give him a little splotch here. And it's dark all along right here and dark all out right there. And I just throw in some little dashies there to tell myself this is going to be black. I will do that in ink, I believe. Because ink black is going to look way better than watercolor black. So it's like, hello! I am here and present. Okay, we have a backpack, which is our ladybug shell. Hello, Negastorm 1! We are making a Palico today. Are you a Monster Hunter player or just a fan of adorable cats? I enjoy adorable cats. Because they're adorable. Alright, we're making a little strap that the armor shell is going to be attached to. So, and then she's got a little blouse too. It's almost like a vest with a bow tie and a button-up shirt. Which is wonderful. Although there's also a leaf on... Oh, it's part of the staff. She's got like a flower staff. Here, I'll give you a peek of what I'm looking at. I'm not making this Palico. That Palico in the corner. That's just a basic one. I don't play Monster Hunter. I'm more of a lizard person. Cats are cool. Play Monster Hunter twice. I draw as well. Cool. I love it. Yeah, I have a tortoise at home, actually. I don't have pet cats, but I have a tortoise. But lizards are sweet. Do you have a lizard, or do you just like, are you a huge fan of lizards? I haven't played a lot of Monster Hunter. Mr. Dave Beard has played a ton of it, though, so he's being my resident expert. I've played the new one that came out on PlayStation, Monster Hunter World, a couple times. And my favorite part was the Palico, so that's why I'm drawing it. This one's mine. This is my Palico. It's kind of lilac, and we're making ladybug armor. The same fish for 7 years? That is impressive. What kind of a fish is it? I had a fish that I loved. I named him Neil. He was a big goldfish, with the really big eyed ones. Monster Hunter is great. The end. The end. Oh, yeah, I loved him. And then I decided I'm going to get my goldfish a friend, even though he was happily living alone for a year. And then the friend from the pet store came with a disease that killed my goldfish. And then my goldfish died. It was very sad. Pet rocks are fantastic. Do you have like a painted face on your rock? I've seen some people do some really cool stuff with pet rocks, actually. They get like, I've seen like frogs and like some pretty cool like rock artwork. And you draw as well. What kind of stuff do you draw? A rock on a fishbowl. Oh, that's perfect. So it's like he has his own, your rock has its own fishbowl. That makes me awesome. Yeah, that is awesome. It makes me smile. One named Herbert when I was young. It had googly eyes. What happened to Herbert? Herbert is a name I don't hear very often, but I appreciate it a lot. I've never had a pet rock. I collected weird things, though. Like, weird sentimental things. Like, I have a box with just some, like, old tickets in it, and I don't actually know what the tickets are from. His little strap here is just flying off to the side, so. Sketch stuff you can think of. A soldier character today. Cool. That's very cool. Sketch things. I was actually just talking about that I admire people who can sketch from their head, because I'm a bit of a looker sketcher myself. Sometimes if I'm trying to draw hands especially, I have to like pose my hand in this weird angle, and then I have my phone and I'm trying to take a picture of it at the angle so then I can look at the picture with the hand at the weird angle. So that's impressive. Decided you didn't need Herbert anymore. Oh, so you just got rid of him? I feel like you could make a Herbert 2.0. You could make like a tribute to Herbert Jr. with like giant googly eyes. Have you seen the really big ones? I went to the store the other day and there was a googly eye like as big as my face. Art Prompt's website is off. Guess I'll think of something for once. Is that a website? Art Prompts? Because I did not know that, but that sounds like a magical tool. Because there's so many times I'm like, what should I draw? And then you just don't know. There is one, but it's off for now. Huh. That's neat. Well, maybe one day I'll keep some tabs on it, and maybe I have to check that out. I know Reddit has a bunch of like writing prompts, so it makes sense that there'd be something for like drawing as well. Our cat's got a poofy sleeve. So like pencil sketching, do you have like different kinds of pencils, or are you like me and use like a mechanical pencil? More than half the prompts they give me because you're not that great. Oh, well, you always got to start somewhere, right? It's art is something that is definitely a practiced thing that takes time for sure. And it's pretty cool. The thing I like about sketchbooks is you can kind of like look through the sketchbook and then see how you've grown. I remember I did one, it was like an anime face watercolor when I first started using watercolors. And I thought it was really good, But I was upset because one part got too wet, like the paper got too wet and it started to fray up. So I never looked at it since because I was like, oh, I wrecked it. And I found it the other day and was like, this is not a good face. But you know, you just gotta grow. Some pencils. A new drawing tablet from Ewan. Gets here at the end of the month. Oh, I would be like so impatiently sitting here like, is it here yet? Is it here yet? Maybe it's here now. That's exciting. So you're going to try and do some digital art then. It's, you know, I recently also got a drawing tablet. And I was like, oh, you know, I've been drawing with pencils for a long time. This should be like not that difficult. But it definitely, it's different. It's a whole new medium that you kind of got to get used to, for sure. Especially coloring. I've been told to start black and white and just work on black and white. Because the color aspect, just all of the, like, I've watched so many, like, YouTube tutorials that are how to shade faces, and it's pretty intense. Sketching. You've done digital before. Oh, excellent. I was pretty new to it. What kind of stuff do you like to do digitally? Or do you make like comics, or is it just like people? I guess you can kind of draw whatever digitally. I like the look of it though. There's a lot of stuff that I've seen, like little just characters that look really cute. And some things, like how people can do like digital water and make it look real. I'm like, oh my goodness. First art project. Animation picture. Most of the people made stop motion, but me and your best bud from another class did digital. Oh, so instead of like taking pictures and like, oh, so you've done animation. That is sweet. I went to Disney World last year. And watching how animation kind of like came about in like the Disney sense was pretty neat. It's pretty crazy. Okay, so we have our little bow tie. I'm not going to do the vest yet. I'm going to get these paws out there. Just so I don't actually draw a vest over top of the paw. Because that's no good. So they kind of stand like this. And it's a bit of an angle. And I'm just, you know, hanging on to my gummy eraser here. So like fidgeting. Drawing and editing at the same time. But it might have helped that the editing of... Ooh, okay, read it again, Sarah. And it might have helped with the editing of 4 or 5 other projects. So you just became like the expert, the resident expert. And everyone was like, hey, Negastorm, you gotta like help me with this project. Reminding myself that they gave 9th graders an animation project. That's cool, though. When I was at, like, they had animation classes in school when I was in school, but I didn't actually take, it was like graphic design, I think. The go-to computer guy. That's an awesome skill, though. Animation's intimidating. I feel like animation takes a lot of patience. Just because, I mean, it's one small photo after another small photo. I mean, I don't know if they still do it like that, or if they have digital programs where you kind of create it and then, is it still photo by photo, or do you like take a creature and then you can kind of like move the 3D image around? Because I've done a little bit on Paint 3D and it kind of looks like that's how that works. Best I do is music and play games. Ooh, what kind of music do you play? Also, video games are the blast. Oh, and making games. Oh, so animation is like pretty important there. But it sounds like you're the go-to computer guy, so it sounds like you're on a good start for sure. Traditional and digital art, so animation is a medium I have a lot of respect for. There's both ways. Oh, yeah. I mean, I've seen the ones where they did, like, the layering of, like, you painted the actual background. I know that's what the Disney movies were like a lot. They painted the background, and then they, like, layered backgrounds on top of the backgrounds. And it just looks, yeah. I also have a lot of respect for animators. Because it's, like, years of work for, like, an hour movie. Didn't Finding Nemo take, like, forever? I feel like if I was to do animation, I would fankle it up. Entangle it, does that work? We have a word of a day. And I try to learn a new word by using it. And then you get points. Fankle it up. I don't know. It's Scottish. I thought it was fun. Okay, I'm going to throw some... This is at an angle. So I'm going to try and make it look like it's at an angle. Whoa, you play piano, drums, a bit of guitar, and the ocarina, like Zelda, like the Ocarina of Time, kind of like ocarina, because that would make me really happy. Tropical house, and recently started slipping away from my best friend's project. Whoa. Tropical house. Is that like digital music? But that's intense. That's like piano, drums, guitar. So, like, all across the board. So you could, like, make your own, like, you could record yourself playing piano and then drums and then guitar. Ah, yes. That's amazing. So can you play the, like, classical tunes? That is the one thing I do remember from playing, like, Zelda on the GameCube is, like, hitting the buttons to try and, like, make it. We did a Legend of Zelda fan art the other day, actually. So I turned Link into a fairy, and this is Ganon Toad, because I think his name should now be Ganon Toad. Because fan art is like my jam. That's awesome. I actually had a guy in high school who used to walk around and play the ocarina. And it always made me smile. Because, I mean, if you have spare time, why not learn how to play an ocarina? Because you can. Okay. Fold down hand. Look like you're folded. We'll come back to that. So you got one paw. And I'm going to make the vest. So it kind of pokes down here. Lines up with the collar of the shirt. It looks a little Harley Quinn-esque, but I know it's... Definitely not. As much as I could hope. We got some buttons and it goes down. It's red and black, but I'm assuming that's more going for the ladybug armor feel and less Harley Quinn, as much as that makes me sad. So it's got these little spouty outies. Spouty outies. I like to make up words. Which is why I'm trying to learn other words, because then I can use real words instead of making them up. Oh, that's fun. Okay, we got sticky outie here, and then it kind of folds over top of itself. Okay, and then this comes up here. So this is black and goes across like this. And this one is black and goes across like that. Hooray! And this is too round, I believe. We're going to flatten that out a bit. And it has buttons. Woohoo! Buttons! Oh, I am behind. Okay, backwards. First thing I learned was the Zelda theme. Because what else do you learn on an ocarina? But it's almost 1 a.m. Oh. Hello, house. I'm going to wake you up with my Zelda. And then all you do is your horse starts running through the house. I still don't use instruments. I play. My brain is not working. It's mostly maybe. I still don't use the instruments I play to make music, but I do have a considerable array of lessons on music theory. Ooh, theory's intense. Although some people's minds just like wrap around it really well. I play a little bit of acoustic, and but mostly rhythm, and I was trying to learn like notes and stuff, but it's got some wrapping your brain around it for sure. Learned to play most of them on piano. It wasn't the same. Oh, and he's always following. You just got some globs. If you don't know what globs are, like globules, it's my currency. Thanks for the follow. That's awesome. If you go down below, there's a glob store, so you gain them. One of them is following. You can do it just for time, hanging out. You can save up and you can buy stuff. So you can like make me draw you chibi or whatever. So there's some stuff down there too. So congrats! Not so ideal. Like a 2-year-old. 1 a.m. I'm impressed. I hit like 11 and I'm like, I'm really old and I'm really tired. So that's awesome. Oh, not so ideal is playing music in the background. You know, at one point I remember I wanted to play guitar and it was late, so I'm like, oh, I don't want to wake my family up. I'll play it outside, forgetting that I have neighbors. And I was sitting out on the deck playing guitar, singing really loud. Mastered for now the art of natural all-nighters. Oh, that is something you would have to master. So, okay. What is the longest amount of time you've gone without sleeping? Because I'm useless when I'm tired. So, I'm like a 10 hours a night kind of person. Useless after 8. And, okay, keep drawing, Sarah. And, I also talk to myself on occasion. Sorry about that. Sorry, not sorry. I'm my own best friend. So yeah, I need a lot of sleep, or else I get really like, ugh. But I always can admire someone who can go without. I'm like, how? But I've heard of people who sleep like 2 hours a night and they're fine, and that's good. 10 a.m. to 7 a.m. the next day. Oh, man. Who doesn't talk to themselves? That's true. I think it gets, like, I was told it's, talking to yourself is normal, but when you reply to yourself, that's when it gets weird. But part of me is like, I reply to myself too. I'm a verbal processor. Sometimes you gotta say it out loud to figure out what's going on. Well, that is impressive that you can go without that much sleep. I am not that skilled. I did an all-nighter once, and it was with like a group of people. It was like a all-nighter hangout thing, and I don't know. I just got really grumpy, and no one wants to hang out with me when I'm tired. I mean, these guys did, but I'm like, I don't think anyone should for the safety. I want to get a shirt that actually says, because I'm safe to approach. I have eaten breakfast, because, you know, in the morning it's like the hanger is real. Seem crazier to me. Not so ideal points is my A-. Your sanity, and B, your social capacity. I'm wrapping my brain. Not so ideal points at A, my sanity, and B, your social capacity. Hey, we're being social right now, so that's good. And, you know, I feel like sanity is entirely subjective. And yeah, I feel like sanity is it's up to the what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. It's like right here. Up to the, what is that phrase? That's gonna bother me. Ooh. Like the person, the subjector, but not subjector. It's a t-shirt. If I'm next to a coffee machine, run. Do you get like caffeine crazy? I personally, coffee puts me to sleep. Right? Everyone, I remember I was at this like summer camp, and you don't sleep at summer camp. And they're like, oh, just have some coffee. And I'm like, this is the first time I've had coffee. I'm like, okay. And I had it, and I got more tired. I can't tell if it's because I was like, just all around tired from summer camp or if I was just exhausted. But I wanted to sleep so bad. Makes me talk a lot. Monster makes you draw? Oh, so like if you have a monster, you just get super creative and draw stuff? I feel like that's effective. Talking a lot can be fun though. I feel like there's some good stories about coffee. A select celebration method for you and your best pet. So if you're just like really like celebrating something, you stay up all night. Perfect. Break out the games. There's some games that would be fun to do marathons of for sure. I'm making some feet. That's what I'm doing. An Ant King. When I had your first monster. What is an Ant King? Is it like an Ant King? Or am I missing a reference? I may be missing a reference. It sounds epic. Here, I'll Google it. Whoop. Technology. There we go. Ant King. Go. Images. I see nothing. I'm guessing it's ant. That's my guess. If I'm wrong, please correct me. Oh, Lord of the Rings, King of the Tree People. Mr. David is also my, like, resident knowledge person on everything. Thanks, Mr. David. Okay, legs. They got these cute little fluffy legs. And I made this one's two together. He's kind of, like, in a stance. I turned to my friend and said, I feel happy. You know, caffeine. Actually, I hear it's in a lot of stuff. I hear caffeine's also in chocolate. So I guess maybe that's where I get most of my caffeine because I'm a fan of chocolate. All right. So he got these big poofy legs. It almost looks like he's wearing big poofy pantaloons, which makes me happy. Because pantaloons should be a thing, right? Not from like anywhere specific. Ooh. So an Ant King is like a big tree person. Trees are so pretty. And every time I've tried to draw them, they just look... I feel like they take a lot of... for me, it would take a lot of staring. Just like staring at it, trying to figure out like where all the branches go. That was my favorite character, I think, on the Lord of the Rings. Was the big tree guy. Because he was epic. I was just like, hey-o. Wouldn't it be great to just ride on a giant tree? Where am I? An egg storm. If I'm not being horrible or productive, I'm bursting pimples. Bursting? Like you're creating bursting pimples or like you're bursting pimples? I hate pimples too. I saw some self-introduction. Honestly, for me, it's not like I get lots of zits, but when I get a zit, it's like, we're not going halfway on this, and it's like this giant volcanic thing on my face. And it's always like on the tip of my nose, where you're like, what do I do with this? I have done worse introductions. Me too, actually. So when I get nervous, I kind of word vomit, and it has not proved me well. There was one time I was meeting one of my best friends that I had heard a lot about, and he does like MMA. And so I was trying to like start a conversation like, oh, I know this thing about you. Let's talk about that. You know, like conversation skill 101. And so I was trying to say, hey, I hear you do like Taekwondo, or I think it's jujitsu. And instead, because he's really tall, I'm like this dorky like person in a sweater, and I'm just like, oh, hey, I've heard all about your biceps. Where did that come from? That's like the worst introduction ever. It was just like, and then my friend was there too, and so then she just teased me about it forever and was like, hey, Sarah, I've heard about your biceps. I'm like, shush. It's not great. I once overheard someone in high school telling their friend about how much they loved popping their zits. And I was astonished, because zits are the worst. They are. There's nothing nothing to like about them Except not having them. Yeah. That's something I like about karate. Although, granted, I can see the satisfaction in it. Like, there's people that really enjoy watching... This leg looks too short, so I'm going to make it longer. They like watching, like, Googling dermatologist zit popping videos. And that's what they do, is they just watch, like, watching them, like, burst. Some people find them very satisfying. I do not. I like them when they're gone. That's about it. You also do karate. Awesome. So you can, like... I hear karate is, like, amazing for, like, learning self-control, and... I haven't done karate. I've always been interested in it, but I once did this workout that was mostly, like, punching. And I was like, this is not going to be, like, is this really a workout? I'm just going to be punching the air. Punching the air takes a lot of work. I was really sore the next day. And it's kind of satisfying, because when you're done, you're like, I could have just taken out, like, 10 thugs. Because I just punched that air so hard. Good grief, no wonder you don't ever sleep. You're way too busy to ever sleep. Oh yeah, with your numerous instruments and animating and karate. But at least you're not bored, hey? I find I'm good with boredom for, like... Hello? My tablet I was trying to get it to recognize my face. I can only be bored. I want, like, a day off, and then I, like, sit for 2 hours, and then I'm like, okay, I'm bored, and then I'm trying to find something to do. So that's always good. And then I end up streaming, because streaming is a blast. Karate, like, really changed how you behave. I have so much to thanks for karate for teaching me so much. I have heard a lot of people say that, actually, that karate's, like, really helped them. I've heard some people say that karate's great helping them with, like, anger management and just, like... confidence, and I don't know. I think karate is amazing. I've heard a lot of really great things. I'd love to do it. I never did karate. I did some dancing. Okay, so this one, the leg is bent, and I'm going to try and not make him look super like he's crazy cat. But we're going to do our best here. This foot's going the wrong way. Go forward. I did dance. I did swimming lessons, but my mom was like, you can do whatever activity you want, but you have to take swimming lessons because it's a life skill and I don't want you to drown. And I was like, that's fair. I do a lot. It doesn't mean that I'm productive. Karate, and it helped me grow as a person. Never had to use the physical part, but the discipline part is something I use every day. Yeah, it's probably awesome for discipline, I can imagine. Man, you're selling me. I'm like, I want to go sign up for karate. Got into karate at the right time. It's kind of short, a bit chubby in the average 12-year-old. Oh, so it just kind of helped you, like, grow as a person then, kind of when you needed it. That's awesome. Some things come along right when you need them, hey? I think I started guitar lessons when I was 14. It was also at a time where I needed it, and I found it very therapeutic if I was upset to just, like, write music or play something. So his toes look funny. I'm gonna fix that. Looks like one toe is trying to, like, sneak into the other toe, and the other toe is like, no, get out of my way. And it's like, but I want to snuggle. And the other toe's like, no. Okay. Gotta put some claws, because it's a cat. Palicos are deadly. Your head looks so big, Mr. Kitty. Just boovy. Okay. And Palicos, this Palico's not wearing pants. Okay. And then we're gonna give him some fluff. So he's got a stripe down the side. I gave him kind of tiger stripes because I thought that'd be sweet. Siri's stronger and your growths were kicked in, and now I have a terrible torso and legs, but I'm happy where I'm at. Oh, well, as long as you're, like, happy with yourself. It is, like, it's what bodies, like, change so much, and I think it's, if you're happy with yourself, and if you're healthy and if you're strong, like, well, who cares about the rest? muscles is awesome. I never used to work out my arms because I was like, I don't want to look like giant and like steroidy or whatever. And then I recently started working on my arms and was like, having arm muscles is so useful. Like, especially like I do lots of baking and I'm carrying like 20-kilo bags of flour. And it's like, it's useful. And I like feeling strong. Feeling strong is the best when you lift stuff that you couldn't lift before and you're like, I lifted that box. I'm probably going to end up moving soon. And so now I feel like I can actually like carry the boxes that I'm going to be moving, which will be excellent. Get yourself in shape. If that's what you want to do, I recently started exercising a lot, and I was surprised. I mean, originally I was like, I want to get in shape, but I was surprised at how much it's done for like my mental sanity. I feel like I'm a lot less stressed out as a person, and I'm a lot happier. I don't feel so like blah, just generally blah. Yeah, I just found like it makes me happier, and I'm not so stressed out. But I never used to handle stress all that well. I'd be like, the world is imploding. So I think if it's something you want to do, go for it. Plus it's fun. I think it's good to find stuff that exercise that you like doing. Like punching the air! It makes you feel awesome. Lack of self-care. You know how much you can take physically, mentally when you can go meh. That is true. I feel like there's a part of life that nobody teaches you, and that is how to take care of yourself. I guess it depends. Some people do. I had some people in my life teach me. Just like self-monitoring your... For me, actually, a big was learning when I was hangry. Believe it or not, there was a lot of times I would be like, the world is a horrible place. And then I'm like, no, I'm just hungry. And then now it's like, when I feel like the world's a horrible place, I go, no, go and actually eat supper instead of not eating. And then the world is better. So the moral of my story is when the world is awful, I just actually eat meals. It's seems like it's pretty basic, but it was mind-changing for me. Something you said a lot and continue to is, I love me, but I hate myself. Oh, don't hate yourself. Negastorm, you awesome. We like you. I think something I went to culinary school, and something my one chef, he was huge on personal development. I was really hard on myself. I was quite a perfectionist, and he would just come up to me all the time and be like, Sarah, be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. And I was all like, no. Why do I need to be kind? But it's true. Like, you kind of got to get to a point where it's got to be nice to yourself. And it's hard, though, because especially when it's like, I was really hard on myself. Like, everything had to be perfect, and it was stressful. Being perfect all the time was hard. It's like a lot of work. This balance of both keeps me like this. I love being like this, but I still hate myself. Oh, so is it kind of like a thing that helps you stay like humble? Instead of being like, I am the best person ever. Balance is important. I have a tickle in my throat. There's a little person in there with a feather duster just poking around. Eventually I had to go away. I swallowed a bug yesterday. I was just walking around talking and I got a bug down my throat and it was like, oh, that was unpleasant. I still don't know what kind of bug it was, and I think that's okay with me. I'm just giving him a shell. It's kind of a weird, it's not like a circle. It's like this weird ovalish shape. And it kind of gets flat near here, actually. Maybe a little more triangular in nature. Problems are the motivation for progression, but the best way to go around it is not to get solutions to your problems, but to take your problems and make them solutions. Ooh, that's deep. That's, honestly though, when I look back on it, the most I've ever grown as a person is always when there's been some sort of issue, you know? Like, there's something about difficulty that makes you grow. For sure. Whereas when life is all good and hunky-dory, it's kind of like life's good and hunky-dory and you don't really grow the same way. Take your problems and make them a solution. I find, yeah, and then finding peace with where you're at. That's what happens when you spend too much time for yourself. Lots of introspection. Did you like, oh, that's like what you say. Oh, that totally sounded like a quote from a book. It's very profound. I think spending time to yourself thinking is something I should do more of, actually, because I think it's important. But some people spend, like, they take vows of silence and just sit and think, and I'm like, I would go crazy. Become selfish and spoiled. Yeah. But that's when I find I just, what's helped me is I have a good set of friends. I have one or two, actually, that are very honest with me. And so if I start getting, I also did this course, and it basically was like dealing with your personal junk, long story short. And part of it was you had these character deflect sheets, and you had to hand them out to people in your life that you knew cared about you and weren't just going to be mean. And ask them, oh, this is way higher. Okay, I'm going to make this bigger. And you had to ask them, like, what are my top 3 character defects? And it was very humbling. But a good group of friends will tell you when you're, hopefully, hopefully. Hunky-dory become expression. Why does it mean anything at all? Hunky-dory. I don't know. Hunky-dory. It sounds almost like, it sounds Canadian, hey? Like, the back door already. Out for a rip, are ya? I can say that, I'm Canadian. I don't know. I just think hunky-dory's fun to say. I'm hunky-dory. Hunky-dory. Maybe it's a shortening. Maybe I'll have to do some research into it. I hates to talk about all the stuff I do. But there's nothing wrong with celebrating with your strengths. And plus it's good because it's like, if you don't talk about you, how do people get to know you if they don't know? A couple of awesome. So that's why I've got a couple awesome and dumb friends. We've got Bits, the wise god. Did he get a girlfriend? I don't know him very much. Are these your friends? Oh, yes. I don't know very much. My manager. I like that your friends have titles. Wouldn't that be cool if your friends, if you like, as you like increased in friendship, you'd be like, you have been upgraded to level 5 in my friendship. And you're like, yes, I reached level 5. I think this is a thing that needs to start. Friendship level titles. If I was doing Sir, Mr. Dr. Moose, I'd be like, you have reached Sir, now you've reached Sir, Mr. Now you've reached Sir, Mr. Doctor. You are at the highest level. You gave them all their titles. Do they know your titles, or is it just like titles in your head? Because I think that's great. I kind of want to start like thinking of titles. I don't know what they'd be, though. I'd be like, person that I can tell everything to. The trusted confidant. My secret keeper. My goofy jumping off of things person. I don't know. Okay. There we go. Now we're starting to look a little more ladybug shell. So, we've got it a black, this is all black background, so I'm going to do this so I remember that that's black. And we've got this little edge, and then it's round behind it. And we come around, coming around and around and around. Perfect. Maybe. Almost. And the rest of the people I either know or those I couldn't care less. Oh, and the last one. There's one more. Dun dun dun. You know, I would rather have like a handful of really good friends than to have a lot of people I knew that like weren't real friends. Something my dad told me was like, you know, who your real friends are when you're moving and ask them to help you move. Your real friends will help you move and nobody else will. Oh, man. Actually, no, I think he meant more like, because when he was talking about it, it was like he was moving across the country kind of thing. But I just think that's interesting because nobody wants to help anyone move. But when you really really care about someone or like family or something, you're like, okay, I will help you move. Because there's lots of stuff to carry. Susak. Inhales. Amazing guy, secret keeper, sense giver, relationship crushing advice giver. And the biggest moron ever. Because of a personal story, I think it's better not to tell, but I really want to. You can keep it personal. It's totally your call. Yeah. I have some friends, too, that, like, yeah. The best, worst stories to know. I feel like I just did. We used to make really goofy videos. Because it was like, oh, look, cameras. So we'd, like, make really, like, oh, hello, Oreo side. Can I just say, I really, really hope that thank you for the follow, by the way. You got globs. Woohoo. I really hope that means, like, it's like Oreos are so amazing. Like that they were, like, death worthy. Oreo side. I'm hoping that that's what that means. Because Oreos are delicious. Have you seen those things where people like open Oreos and they take the filling out and then they fill it with toothpaste and then they squish it back together? And then it's like a prank. So it's like a toothpaste Oreo. That sounds super nasty to me. I think it would be very cruel. But not like, toothpaste is still edible, so I feel like it wouldn't be, it's like, not like it would be disgusting, but it would be really sad. Especially if you were expecting an Oreo. My sister once was like, oh, I'm going to be really nice. And she was like, I have an older sister. I have one. And she's like, oh, I'll make you an iced tea. And I was like, oh, that's so nice of you. It was very out of character. I still love my sister lots. But, and then she brought me iced tea and she filled it with pickle juice. And so I was expecting iced tea. And Canadian iced tea is really sweet. Like, it's not like tea that was iced. It's like this delicious, sugary awesomeness. I still like iced tea, too. But this is like, I was expecting the very sugary, sweet iced tea. And it was pickle juice. And it was just like, I think I vomited. As all good stories end. Oh, he's used to me and my friends. I could tell all I want. There you go. I hated to complain about my crush on him because he would always say, I have the same girls for 7 years. You can do it. I've liked the same girl for 7 years. You can do it. That went on for long. Eventually he told me that he was hanging out with that girl and she said that she also liked me. Ooh. Uh-oh. Oh, no, not the girl he liked for 7 years, but the girl that you like. Okay. Why didn't you say that 7 years ago? Yeah. Okay, I'm rereading just so my brain, like, understands what's going on. Oh, so he was hanging out with the girl he liked for 7 years. Oh, she liked him. Oh, yeah. Why wouldn't you just do it 7 years ago? That is fair. That almost got very complicated in my brain. I was like, uh-oh, that's always no good. That's like friendship tension right there. We're just like, oh, what do you do? Because what do you do in that situation? That happened to me. My one friend liked a gentleman who she was becoming friends with and then told her that he liked me, and it was awkward. Because it's like, I still want to be friends. It's not my fault. What do I do? Very uncomfortable. Okay, I want to make this, it's kind of squarish. This Palico. And it's looking a little too round. I want it to be a little more, less roundy shaped and a little more like shell shaped. It's shelley. And then it's black here. And it's kind of got a rim to it as well. So I'm just going to throw that rim on right there. It's black here and it's black over there, but we'll color that in after. Palico! Okay, cool. I think we should start painting it because I'm ready for some color. So she was going to kiss him. And he turned his head. Oh! Smooth. Then did you get like a cute little like cheek kiss? Because those are adorable. You did what? All of this in Portuguese. That's impressive. Wait, you speak Portuguese? That's awesome. I really want to know another language, but my brain has yet to wrap around it, and it makes me sad. I tried German, and then my brain got confused, and I learned some French in school. You are Portuguese. Oh, the powers of the internet. English and Spanish. I'm impressed. I'm very impressed. But I know, like, in Europe, like, in some areas of, I know Africa, there's, like, tons of different dialects, and, like, India, there's a bunch of different dialects, and, like, so everyone knows, like, 2 or 3 languages, and I feel like I'm behind, and I need to learn some more languages. I would, yeah. Maybe I'll get, like, some app. I hear apps are great for learning languages. Anyway, power of the internet. I love that it's like you're Portuguese and I'm Canadian and we're hanging out. I think that's awesome. Okay, what I'm doing. This is my good friend, the gummy eraser. It's my favorite thing ever. And it's fun to play with. And so I fidget with it while I think. And I am, oh, that would explain why it's like 1 a.m. where you are. It's like 4 o'clock. It's 5:30 actually now. Anyway, so it's picking up all of my little lead pieces that have smudged all over the place because I'm left-handed. And it gives me a light outline of what I want to paint, but without the big like, hello, I'm pencil. So it doesn't pop out the same way, which makes me really sad, especially with colors like yellow. When there's little pencil lines underneath and you're like, ugh, it just looks nice and crisp and clean when there's not. So we're going to get some color in here. And with all things watercolor, I like to start light to dark. So that's right where I want it, except right up here. Right there. For our Palico. I am using a palette watercolor set. This is when it gets crazy. So just a basic palette. This is like your starter palette. So dry watercolors. So there's different techniques. You can do wet brush to dry watercolor. You can do dry watercolor onto wet paper, and you can do wet on wet, which is like dropping actions. There's all sorts of things, and they give you different textures. So I have it colored out here because depending on how much color, you can get different shades. So I just made this up roughly, and it's covered in splatters and things because I've been testing on it. Just to tell me, because sometimes the colors are a little deceiving. Like this one, it doesn't quite look the same. So anyway, that's for. So we're gonna get started on it. And I have water. My good old jar of water and some more paintbrushes. One I use the most in this case will be, this is like a number 2. Yeah, it's like it's a rounded tip. It's not flat. You can actually get a lot of detail with this little guy. And then I'll probably switch around, but I'll show you if I'm going to switch. Smooth. That I learned. Why the coach never plays the game. Because the coach is an idiot. Yeah, there you go. You know, they give advice, but might not play so well. 7 years. That's patience right there. Well, I'm glad it worked out. Well, mostly. Except for the head turning part. Good at planning, less at execution. It wouldn't be so bad, but he gave her a ring! Ooh! Did it go well? Was it like a yay, she has a ring, or like a ooh, like... Oh, you know what I totally forgot? Was the weapon. I didn't do the weapon. I'm not painting quite yet. This will be quick. Got a little flower weapon of sorts. So it's coming out behind his head. Good grief. What would I do? Leaving my Palico unequipped in the field. That is just cruel. It's like, here, go fight monsters with your bare hands. This weapon is neat. It's very, naturey. Kind of got it like a blue petal sticking out on the hilt here. I was really excited to start, and I did not learn the name. Hey, Mr. Davebeard, do you know the name of this weapon? And it's got a leaf that is being flowy and majestic coming off the side because the tip of the weapon itself is actually a flower. And it's coming, okay, keeping our line straight. It's kind of hanging off his back where he likes to keep his stuff. Oh. He did it in front of the class. Oh. Can't remember now how it went, but it seems to talk better than when he does. Except if he's drawing. He draws well. Oh. Well, that's cool. That's too bad. It sounds like he's a bit of a diehard romantic. The type of person to wait 7 years and then give her a ring. Although sometimes it's good to, like, I feel like in like giving a ring kind of thing, it's good to feel the water out a bit more. I know while I was actually the year I was at the summer camp, when I attempted coffee. Attempted. And then it's got this big petal on the end of the weapon here, so. We had lip sync battles, which are a blast and a half. You basically pick a song you know, and then you lip sync your heart out to it, and then whoever wins wins. So this guy lip synced a like a romantic cheesy boy band song. I can't remember which one it was. And then at the end, with the mic, asked this girl out at camp in front of everyone, and you could tell she was really uncomfortable and kind of wanted to say no, but she was in front of everyone, so it's like this awkward moment of like, yeah, okay, and then everyone cheers, and then her face was like, ah, so it's like, I feel like that's something that's good to like test the water out before you do grand gestures. It's always good. Okay, so it's kind of round and blossomy. It's the kitty of the valley rod. That's cute. Most introverted guy. Plus, he hit his girlfriend last time. You know, kind of late. But he's the most sincere guy. Some people grow at like, there's people I've seen that were quite short for a long time, and then they hit like 21, and then they're like, and then they like grow 2 feet. So, you know, it just happens when it happens. Yeah. He's also amazing. Oh yeah, also, ... Are those, is that parentheses? Is that what that is? I find ... dots excellent, and I like using them a lot. And then I have some friends that are like, why don't you just say it? And I'm like, because ... is fun. All right, our Lily of the Valley rod. I totally got a grease burn today at work. I was cleaning a grill. Well, the grill. We only have one. And it like spat at me because you have to do it hot, and then you have this grill brick and you like have to go back and forth, and then you like wipe the oil off, and you keep putting oil on and wiping oil off until it's not like black anymore. And then I put the oils on and I went to wipe it, and I had cheap paper towel. First mistake. And it just spat all over my hands. So I have all these little tiny burns on my fingers. And I was like, what if I can't draw? I was really sad. But I'm fine. Life goes on. The worst part was like having a burn, and you know when your burn gets hot, it really hurts. And then I had to wash dishes in hot water. And it was like, ew. Ellipses. What did I say? Parentheses? Oh no, those are those other things that I also can't think of. Are they the stars? That's hashtag, isn't it? Ellipses. Ellipses. Words. She said no, and on the outside I was like, oh, okay, but internally I heard something cracking. Oh, my friends make memes with it to this day. Oh. Parentheses or brackets. Thanks, Mr. Dave Beard. No, heartbreak's so disappointing. But I mean, if as long as they had a sense of humor, as long as it's not hurtful, memes with it. Sometimes you do things and it gets held against you. For sure. I've had my couple things that I can't think of any. What is something my friends used to tease me about a lot? I mentioned one earlier. Oh, tell me all about your biceps. And you're like, oh, dang. That's something I'm not gonna, like, live down. Or there's one time I got really awkward. And I was in a movie theater. And there was somebody nearby that was just awkward. And so it was like my brain was looking for an escape tactic. I don't know why. And so I randomly saw somebody that I was in my sister's wedding party. And so I walked with them up, and then we split. So that was like the brides or the groomsmen, and I was the bridesmaid, and they like walk and you split and blah, blah, blah. And in the middle of the theater, I just randomly stop, and I don't know this person. I'm like, hey, I walked with you. And then they look at me like, who is this person? And then I look at them, and we just look at each other. And it was just that moment where you know it's really awkward, and it's instant regret. And I'm just like, hey, I walked with you. Yeah, I word vomit sometimes. But I pre-warned you, so anyway, it was just awkward. I'm fine, it's fine. 4 months, it's fine. At least you did it. You know, yeah, that's true. Because now it's like, recognize my face. There we go. Because now at least you tried, and it's hard, but I think trying is half the battle. Because then you'd be sitting here like, what if? And I think sometimes no is a little better than a what if. As much as it sucks. Really sucks. Super sucks. Good on you putting yourself out there. Find better luck next time. Yeah, for sure. Don't need next time. I need memes in my veins. Also Monster Drink and some games. What kind of games do you like playing? Okay. So now I'm looking at this. And my weapon is off kilter, which makes me really sad because that means I have to erase all of this and start over. It was going to be fast, but that's okay. Alrighty. This is going to turn and go up. And this is going to go this way more. Alright. Now draw the circle. And then we're going to stick the staff onto it. Ooh, this looks like a squash balloon lantern thing. I don't know what it is. Some sort of flower. And then we're going to attach it like this. Lovely. And make that line cleaner because it doesn't need to be that messy. Find And sometimes with circles, you just gotta draw a lot of little circles and then attach them, because that's how circles work. I also have like a stencil with a bunch of circles on it, but part of me is like, that's cheating. But also useful. Okay, and this is pointing... Okay, the mouth of the flower is opening around like this. So I'm going to draw the circle first, so then I put the little spouty things in the right spot. And then these will go here. There we go. That looks right. Whoop. Puzzle, strategy, buildings, PC or console. But the meme my bud made, it's also hilarious. Well, I mean, you could feel free to share your meme with us, because I'm always a fan of memes. Have you played, it's like a board game, it's called What Do You Meme? And basically, somebody pulls a card that's like a well-known meme, and it's kind of like Cards Against Humanity feels. And then each of the cards has like a caption, and you have to match the caption to the memes. It is hilarious. Mildly inappropriate, but in some ways also quite hilarious. Oh yeah, PC or console? We all want to know. Strategy games are fun. I didn't realize I love Risk. I don't know why, but I love Risk. There's something about the like strategic planning of... I enjoy strategy games, is what I'm trying to say. Also RPGs, every now and then. I love Harvest Moon and Stardew Valley. Create a meme about someone else's romantic difficulties. Somebody with a sense of humor. It's a guy throwing a bowling ball with a text box with the girl's name. The pins have the boxes with my names and the ball. Saying, I like you as a friend. Oh, that is a very funny meme. I'm sorry about your romantic difficulties, but I'm really glad that at least you got a hilarious meme out of it. Hilarious jerk. Accurate description. Oh, that's great. Okay. We are going to paint. We just got to get the little, like, plant hairs on this guy. This squash flower thing. And the kitty of the valley. Instead of the lily. Oh, it's a lily of the valley. Duh. That's what this flower looks like. Okay, kitty of the... That took a while. But it clued in eventually. Couldn't give much about anything. Yeah. Well, we all have that one friend, hey? That it's just kind of like, you said that, and it's hilarious. Also, I want to whack you right now, but it's hilarious. Also, I typed in swack into my phone the other day, and it auto-corrected it and was like, we don't know what this word is. And I'm like, swack is a word, right? Like, I have a whole swack of that. Apparently, it's not a real word. And that makes me sad. Okay, light to dark. Lightest thing I have is purple. So I'm going to go with this one, because that's my lightest purple. Much lighter than that one. It's kind of bluish, but bluish. Say that 10 times fast. Bluish. I'm going to go with that one. Long story short. Mouth stays white. There are some stripes. I'm going to do the stripes in ink. So I'm doing wet to dry, wet paint to dry paper, because Ganache, the Palico, needs some color in its life. And it's got a little bit of white around the eyes. So I'm going to actually add the color on, and I think I'm going to pull the color. So I'm just going to add the dark bits, and then add, because it's quite light, so I'm just adding the dark where I want the shadow to be, and then I'm going to take the water and pull it. So I'll show you what, I keep saying pulling. And this side of the face is darker. I'm going to throw some in over here where the nose is. And we'll throw some over here a bit too, just kind of where that shadow is. So I'm actually going to take all of the color off of my brush and just take the color and spread it around. So then the dark parts kind of blend in, and it gets that nice shadow that I want. And that way it doesn't get too dark either, which is just about perfect. And we'll shove that this way. And you can actually pull the light colored, like, and concentrate the dark right into the one spot that you want as well, which is great. If it had been me, I would have taken it way too far and put it on a shirt for you. Oh dear. I'm slamming for the guy who also made the digital animation film, and he's your best bud. That's great. Yes. Well, I mean, you always gotta have that friend. And I feel like best friends are the ones that are like, this really sucked and was really sad. I'm gonna make a meme about it. I feel like his intentions were to make you feel better. That is my hope. He sounds pretty great. But you know, best friends are the ones you gotta slave for, right? Make some music for it. That's perfect. The music you're making is for his animation, is what you were saying? The end of the year trip was to Madrid. Ooh! Me, him, and Tino in the same room. And it was wild. I do not doubt that. Those are the fun ones. I've learned that there's only certain people I can go on trips with just because of the condensed amount of time. Also, the risk of them being around me while I'm hungry. The real struggle in life. Yeah, you know you're really good friends with someone when you can go on a trip with them and stay friends after the trip. Okay, I'm making the under the neck a little bit darker because, and then I'm going to go over all of these lines as well with ink, so it doesn't need to be super like, this is where the line is. There we go. So I'm just adding basically just color and shadow right now. He's got a little pink nose. This is like super like, hello, I'm pink. I think I'm going to go more for this pastel. It's almost like a skin color. No, I'm going to do this one because that's too skin toned. It's too peachy and I want that one. It's what I've decided. It's going to be pink. He has large hair. Is it an afro? Because that's pretty stellar. One day he washed it and groomed it. I know he got in his girlfriend's room. We're going back to her room. We passed out a friend. Hey, want to mess with my hair? Oh, hello. Batman! I'm a huge Batman fan. I enjoy your name. How do you have to like, you probably have to memorize like, oh, hold on. Memorize my face. Hello. Just talking to my tablet. AI! Do you have to memorize how many A's in your name? Because I feel like signing into stuff might be like, okay, how many A's was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's impressive. I love it. I don't get how that works. You haven't drawn or painted anything since high school. Oh, well, welcome. You can join and paint with us. Did you used to paint a lot? I don't get how that worked. Don't get how what worked. Negastorm? Okay, and we are going back to our room. We passed one of our friends. It's mad. Oh, so that's how I made her feel better. Was like, you can mess with my hair. That's great. Okay, I'm adding more to Palico's arm. If you don't know Batman, Palicos are Monster Hunter. If you're not a Monster Hunter player, they're these adorable little cat creatures that help you fight monsters, and they're amazing and super cute. And so I am currently painting my Palico, whose name is Ganache, in a ladybug armor, because you can change their armor too. Another wild thing that happened on the trip, I admit a polite curiosity. That was very formal, Mr. Dave Beard. An art teacher who left, and I would draw a lot when she taught. We became friends, and she left, and I can't draw as well without her, really. Oh, that's too bad. Do you just feel less inspiration? What, are you mostly a sketcher, Batman? Or do you, you mentioned you have painted in the past. It is super, art friends are awesome. Locally, where I live, there's an artist meetup night. Oh, I'm doing wet on wet right now. I just picked up some, watercolor because I didn't like how it didn't really blend all that well. So I'm just adding I'm dabbing in some more color. Where it's just this drop-in night where everyone brings their own art project, and we all just sit there in a loft in our local community center kind of thing. It's like the cultural center, but it's basically a community center. It's like arts and theater and stuff, and we sit there and paint and talk, and it's wonderful. Just wonderful. She was your muse. Had some trouble with his girl on that day. He was kind of sad. But at dinner, we were all scared. Why were you scared? Oh my goodness, the story. ... Ellipses. Secretly keep me in her class on lunch break so I could draw and draw and draw again and again. And we never stopped talking. That's awesome! I know in the high school I went to, the art room was like, the art teacher never left her classroom because there was so many students that she had that just wanted to come and hang out in her art room and paint. Or they would work on projects. But it was so nice to just sit in there and we all just sat there and drew. Because, I mean, at lunch hour, when it's like an hour, it's like, what else do you do? Except paint! All the free supplies. Well, I'm sorry she left. That's super lame. But if you ever want to start drawing, you could draw along with us. So me and Bits whisper each other, try to cheer him up. He goes, and I go, yeah, insult me. And the saddest voice, he goes, nah. Oh, oh, that's too bad. Well, at least it was a good funny moment. Didn't feel like insulting you. That's too bad. I said she wanted me to be realistic, so she'd take off shoes, and I'd have to draw her feet for hours because they were so detailed and cool. Oh, that's sweet. Realism is intense. I'm a bit more of a cartoony drawer myself, but I've challenged myself here. There, sometimes you gotta challenge yourself and do some realism, and but it's very satisfying, you know, when you do something that looks really good, and then you look at it and you're like, I did that. Look at that. Like, I like palicos and cute cartoony things. I really enjoy chibis. The other day in the Globster, you can do chibi me, and one of the watchers requested, this is chibi Deadpool Bob Ross. So I like doing stuff like that. But I recently tried to do a realism elephant, which was this one, with just quill and ink, and it took so long. But I'm really happy with how it turned out, so that's what's important. But I do love some fan art. Feet are so hard. I would also burst out laughing, Negastorm, because that is hilarious. During dinner, I got to tell you what to go. What did you do? Yeah, I always have a hard time with feet. Mostly hands. I have to, like, take pictures of them in weird angles and look at them. Hello. My reference picture keeps closing. Don't mind me while I'm, like, talking to my technology. I drew her feet again every day, and I never tell anyone. It was only her feet. So now, do you have like a sketchbook that is just filled with your art teacher's feet? Because I think that's pretty great. Also, you'd get to see how like you got better at drawing feet over time. So that's pretty cool. Because yeah, feet are a challenge. There's so many bones in them, though. I find if you do, like I remember when I was learning how to draw, I would always draw, I'm just trying to get the shadows here, so we're just playing with the dark and the light colors. I always used to draw, when I was learning how to draw, hands behind people's backs, or hands in their pockets, because I didn't want to draw hands. Oh, dear. And now I'm like, okay, challenge yourself. Try and draw the hands. But then you do cartoon characters and you can kind of get away with like cute looking hands and not super realistic. But sometimes I just have to sit with a sketchbook and draw hands for hours and try and figure out how to make it work. I agree, Mr. Daybeard. Your friends do sound excellent, Negastorm. Because we're all terrible at making others feel better. Oh, so it's just like a tense, awkward situation. Yeah. I feel ya. Okay. Speaking of feet and hands, I'm doing cat feet, which are significantly easier. I'm just leaving out the white because I'm going to do that with ink. So I think I've got all of the fur. And I'm going to go to the next lightest color, which is the light blue in our Kitty of the Valley. It's a Lily of the Valley weapon that goes with the... I'm getting a little dark here. That goes with the ladybug armor. So I'm going to go with this light blue because it's kind of a glowy blue, and then it's got some shadows underneath it. So I'm actually almost out of this light blue because I use it a lot. But I have another palette. So fear not! The painting will continue. Just going along, and then I think, ooh! My saliva decided to go down the wrong tube there, and I, instead of coughing, apparently I said ooh. I'll do light blue, and then I'm going to mix it with a darker blue, I think, to add the shadow there. It's just a big ball, big old ball. And it's going to be wet on wet, so it's going to kind of, the color attaches and just spreads through the water. So I think I'm just going to add a little bit down here and let it blend itself. And add some up here as well. This got a little dry, so it's not going to travel quite the same way. And then I'm just going to add some water here to blend it again. And I'm pushing the water towards the bottom because I want it to be dark and move light upwards. And I want it even colors. So there we go. And pull this way a bit too. Okay. Next color is going to be green. This is the part, sketching takes a long time and then the painting goes really fast. Then y'all came down from the sky. Ooh. Gave me a bit some laughs during the night. I had to go find another of our friends solved it themselves. And me a bit laughed like idiots. Excellent! Well, I'm glad there's a happy ending to the story. She gave me the sketchbook. I have it on my shelf. But at least her feet were pretty enough to keep drawing. Oh! That's very funny because she was like a couple years older than me and... like a couple years older than me. And just... and I were scared rumors would spread. Oh, yeah. Rumors are dumb. Especially when it's like, oh, we're just drawing, guys. Come on. I just love to draw her and her feet. Well, there you go. I was talking about his personal learning experience. Chair says, well, I'm telling the tale of the two sensitives and God. We welcome all conversation here. It's very entertaining. It's my art is like awesome. It makes sense that you'd stop drawing after she left. Yeah, and that special connection. That's sad. Focusing on. I'm really sorry. Yeah. Or to anyone else. Oh, so now it's just like you almost don't want to draw because it's like bittersweet. I feel ya. 5 years. It's been 6 years in school and drawing her for about 4. That's a long time too. That's sad. Oh, dang. I terribly, terribly have a squirrel bladder, and I'm going to run to the washroom. But I will be back in like 3 seconds. Well, more like probably 30. But I will be right back. Thanks for hanging out. Feel free to discuss bears while I'm away. Oh, Batman. Thanks for the follow. You just got 100 globs. If you don't know globs, they're in the store. You can check it out below. Hello. I've returned. Okay, we are back. Oh, you guys actually talked about bears. Oh, that makes me excellent. I knew someone, a friend of mine, whenever things got awkward, they just sit there and go, so bears. And so this just makes me smile. Bears are cool. He said, I miss you very much. I approve of the pun. Me too. That makes me very happy. No, I'm afraid it's not like you were in love. I didn't love her like that. She's just French. I love drawing her. Yeah. I feel bad for making puns now. Puns are always welcome. Hello, electronics. I can't help myself sometimes, even in inappropriate situations, like someone talking about real feelings. Again, sorry, Batman. Please continue your overbearing conversation. Oh my gosh. Oh. I think that's the last claw. Can't go too much over that. We'll, it is possible that, that pun made my day. Possible. Hello! Yeah, I got some light in there. Oh, you win, I concede. Yes. Excellent. Your vocab, Mr. Dave Beard, just blows my mind a little bit. Where were we? The bear puns. I feel like that needs to be a highlight because that just makes me so happy. You know I had to do, I don't. Oh, you know what? Oh, had to do it. I do. I'm wriggling my eyebrows because sometimes my brain is a little fuzzy. Seriously, that made me really happy. Yes, real feelings. That really sucks that you lost connection. But it's really cool you got that experience though, and that you have a sketchbook full of feet. You probably can draw feet way better than I can. Next color. So the shirt is kind of a tanny yellow olive. I think I'm gonna go for this one because all of my yellows are very like sunshine yellow, and I like the earth tones. Actually, no, maybe I'll do the skin color. I'm going to do the skin color because the fur is purple, so it's not going to get confused. Sometimes I want to use that for clothes, and then I'm like, it's just going to look like skin, and it's going to look funny. But we're not, so I'm going to go ahead and use this tan color in here for the color of the shirt. And it's going to end up being the sleeves as well. They're kind of poofy, but not like Victorian style clothing poofy, just a little poofy, just enough poof. Can it really be too poofy? I recently went to, there's like this historic town in where I live. It's called Barkerville. It's like 1800s gold rush, and you walk into it and it's like you're walking into this old town, and you could dress up. And so I did, because why not? And the shirt I wore had these like crazy poofy sleeves. They were like, it was wonderful. And everyone stared at me, but I don't care because it was wonderful. And it was cool. It was comfortable. Did you actually write the right amount of A's? Oh. That detailing in Batman. Anyway, yeah, casual relationship. The stream needs a Discord. That's not a bad idea. Yeah! I'm game. I'm pretty new to Discord, but I do have a Discord account. It is also Sir Mr. Dr. Moose. You can hit me up on there. And we can make a Discord. Alright. I'm kind of keeping the shadows to the right side because my light is coming from this direction and the face is turned. So the shadows are kind of sticking off to the other side. Just filling in the color and the sleeves and the bottom here. And it doesn't all match. Some of it's a little darker than the rest, so I'm going to add some more color. Just going to dab that in there over here, and I want some more over here because this is a little light. A little too white for me. I want it to be colorful. Wonderful. There. Okay. Now we're going to do our next lightest color. Oh, it's the green. I forgot about the green. I'm going to use this light green because it's a light blue, so I'm thinking Valley. Light green, light blue. Works great. All right. Here we go. Ooh. Sometimes I have a list of questions that I've been reading off of, and they make me really happy. This one I saw earlier, and I really wanted to like. What is the best Halloween costume you've ever had? I've had a couple, because I really like cosplay. It's time in life I always remember something special. Yeah, it's like a special memory for sure. I'm sure I don't. I don't fankle a rope to make you know what. Fankle. Going for the points. All right. So tangle. I don't tangle a rope to make you know what. Oh dear. Fankle. All right. Well, you use fankle. So I'm going to write this down so I don't forget. And since you used, oh right, Batman, there's a word of the day down here. So if you use the word of the day, I give you extra points. So, okay, Negastor. 1. I will send you 50 globs. Globules. Because the word glob is just fun. It's like, choose a currency name. And I'm like, globs. Like globs of paint. Or globs of ink. So I use lots of ink as well. Alright. This is going so quickly. The top of my weapon is also blue. So I'm going to grab that too. Another reason I like doing light to dark with watercolor is because of the water itself. I don't love running and doing a lot of water changes, and as soon as you put a dark color in your water, all of your water is dark, and then every other color you pick up is going to have that tinge to it. So if you go light to dark, you don't really have to worry about that. I do have water nearby though, so if I need to switch it out, I will. But for sake of ease, this is just more efficient, and then I'm using less water, so everybody wins. To make a you-know-what, I would hope that you do fankle the rope and get so frustrated that you give up. Well, I mean, Fitz knows how to do it. You know, he just knows too many things. Oh, I think I've just figured out what the you-know-what is, and I hope you don't make one. I think I took an outdoor ed class, actually, and they taught us how to tie. I'm thinking of a noose. I don't know if this is where we're going. And we did have to tie one, and it's actually kind of hard. I don't know why we did that in outdoor ed. Oh, it was for tying up tents, ropes, boats. Tents, ropes, boats. we were tying boats, how to like tie a boat to a car or something. Frankly, my dear. Still. Well, that took long enough. Oh, for me to clue in. Yeah, my brain's a little slow. Okay. Best Halloween costume I ever had. Oh, the eyes too. Before I move on, my Palico ganache here. The eyes are blue, so I'm gonna stick that blue in before I forget. I had one of those like optical illusion. Oh, get my face out of the camera. Sorry, guys. I get really intense, and sometimes I like paint like this. So the camera is teaching me how to paint with good posture. It was like I had a big mummy, like a big stuffed mummy that was a backpack, and their arms came around, and then I had this little fake baby body, so my head was attached to the baby body, and so the legs became the mummy's legs. So it looked like there was this giant mummy carrying this little baby, and so I had to walk around like this, which is not very smart when you're carrying around a giant bag of candy. Walking around like this, because my arms at the end of the night, I could barely like stretch them out. I was like, oh my goodness. But it looked like a little baby with a mummy on the back, and it was crazy. Everyone was like, I want a picture. And then my friend who went as like a cowgirl was like, well, no one wants my picture. This is dumb. But I think that was like the best Halloween costume that I ever had. It was really cool. Okay, the eyes and the buttons. The eyes of our ladybug are gold. But this is all kind of earth tone still, so I think I'm going to do this like pukey gold. And then I'm going to need an orange for the ladybug, because it's kind of orange and goes red, so I'm probably going to do that one. Yep, and keep with the earth tones. The other best one is Miss Martian, one of the Teen Titans. My favorite superhero is the Martian Manhunter. And so I went to Calgary Comic-Con, which I think is Canada's biggest Comic-Con. I'd love to do San Diego. And I went as Miss Martian. So I mean, it was a fun costume, so I just reused that one. This is quite orange when it's heavy. So again, I'm just going to lighten it up and get rid of some of that water. So that, I think, was also one of my favorite costumes. And then I just, like, every year, I just, like, paint my face different colors and making it alien and green. That was my favorite Halloween costume anyway. Costumes are fun. I like dressing up. Also, Comic-Con is wonderful. It's like this weird place where you can go up to strangers and be like, hey, can I take your picture? And they're like, yes. And then you take pictures with a bunch of strangers that you don't know. I was just picking up some of the paint because I wanted it a bit lighter. So I just had my wet brush picking up the color. We don't dress up for Halloween. We carve a pumpkin and call it a night. Perfect. Giant mummy! Yes. But we have Comic-Con. Ooh. Have you gone, Negastorm, to your Comic-Con? Or is it not your jam? Hello. There we go. Martian Manhunter is a great character. Oh, I know. He's wonderful. He's got, like, the saddest backstory, too. Okay, I'm doing an orange now. That one looks kind of like bleh. Carving pumpkins is fun. I enjoy carving pumpkins a lot. I can't decide what color I want to use. Yeah, no, I'm going to do that one. Because I don't want it to get too 80s vibrant Hey there, we have colors. I feel like he's underrated, the Martian Manhunter, and I really want him to have his own movie. But he was in Supergirl, the TV show, so I suppose I can be okay. But his backstory about, like, how the white Martians took over the green Martians, and the green Martians were the smart, nice ones, and yeah, and then his whole family got killed, and it was just sad. And he's just a big sad guy, and I just want to give him a great big hug. But also he has awesome shape-shifting powers and, like, mind stuff. So, can't go wrong there. Oh, where did I go? I have a picture of the official Nintendo of Portugal, and me a bit inklings. Ah! That's awesome! Oh, I like pictures. Okay, hold on. John Jones. You know the Martian Manhunter, and it makes my heart, like, super happy. Oh, scroll down. Scroll down. Oh, no, I lost it. Okay, hold on. I have to reopen the link. Click. Oh, it's on Nintendo. Okay, and sorry, you said you were Inkling. Yes. That's awesome. And you made it on, like, the actual Nintendo Twitter. That is super cool when that happens. Your costumes look awesome. Nintendo, I am a fan. I'm a huge fan. John Jones. Yeah, I have a collection of the all the old Martian Manhunter comics. Like, they're like the classic showcase comics, I think they're called. And the first ever comic with the Martian Manhunter in it is so cheesy. It's this old Batman, and they're like trying to, like, stop these bad Martians, and he's like a Martian. It's not very good. However, the other ones where he's like an awesome detective are much better. The guy on the right. Nice! Your paint rollers are fantastic, so you look great. Yeah! I finished the rollers the night before. I know, when I went to Comic-Con, at that point in my life, I had, like, very minimal sewing experience, and I needed a lot of help. Mothers are good for that. I was like, how am I supposed to make this? Okay, I have a lot of water, and it turned it kind of orange, but the joy of watercolor, focus, is I'm just gonna pick it up with a tissue here. You can use paper towel, I'm using a Kleenex, and take out some of that color, just because it's in such a precise area. I don't really want to put more water onto it, or else it'll, like, it could spread everywhere and look really ugly. We got more orange on this side. I think it's just how the light is hitting the shell here. It's really dark across the edge, and then it gets lighter, and it's kind of glowing. It's got this gold effect, so I'm not going to do too much of this color. And then the other side, it gets more red. So we might have to layer some colors to blend them to get that look, which is exciting and will be fun. So we do have some red on here. This one is kind of an earthy red, and I do like that that would match the gold, and again, it would look less cartoony. So I think I'm going to go earthy red, as much as I love vibrant, bright red. However, I'm going to stick some of this orange. Again, the black, this is black up here. It's just kind of that way. I'm going to fill that in. Fill it in. So it's black. It's got a big ladybug spot on it. Okay. I'm just going to do a light layer of this orange and spread that out. Because I don't want to do too heavy, because then your paper kind of loses its integrity, and it's like, then you can't really ink it because it's all scrapey. Whoa! Okay, words. The Manhunter, because of a comic where he shows he's more powerful than Superman. That's what I feel that way too. and Wonder Woman and Green Lantern combined. Yet he lives in space in the Justice League Watchtower, where he patiently sits at a desk and watches over Earth. Yeah, that's basically his job. He just kind of sits up there. But again, there's part of me that's like, I don't know. Ooh, I like this red. I'm glad this was the consensus. I don't know if anyone else would have the brain power to be able to watch all of Earth. And organize all of the Justice League, because when you really look at it, the Justice League is a lot of people, heroes and aliens. There's a lot of them in there, and I feel like his brain power is best used, but he's not really a violent guy. He's just like, I am content to stay up here unless I am very desperately needed. Totally can't tell. Looks pretty though. I think you're reversing colors. If so, thanks. Oh, the red. Yes. But a guy goes up to us and says, hi. I'm the representative of Nintendo Portugal. Can we take a picture of you to put on the Twitter? We look at each other and go, yeah. Not a hard question to answer. That, I agree. That would be super sweet. Okay. So that is all going to be dark in here. So next, I'm going to do brown. No, I'm going to do red. So I'm going to keep the same red for continuity's sake. So the photo or the picture is concise. We got some fabric folds in here as well. So this ladybug armor's got a little bit of flappity flaps hanging out the side. More really important terms. And this part is all red. So I'm just kind of putting the color in where I want it. And now, and I mean, the cool thing too that I like about watercolor is now that I have that yellow light tone in my water, it kind of comes into the red that I'm using. And then all of my colors start to have like a harmony because they all kind of have the same tones in them. Whereas the dark would overpower the light. So that's cool. I like how cool the Martian Manhunter is about his powers. Oh yeah, he's not very dramatic. He just does what he does. Big Batman fan. And the way the Martian Manhunter's human persona originally starts out as a detective makes you happy. Oh, is it 2 a.m.? Well, Nagastorm, you are more than welcome to go to sleep. I very much have enjoyed hanging out with you, but I understand the need for sleep. So, yes, feel free to get some rest. Spent Christmas with Superman in Smallville too. He's in Smallville? Okay, I have to watch Smallville now. I've been looking for a Martian Manhunter Funko Pop for the longest time, and it's super rare. And then I found like a spin-off one as a gift from Mr. Dave Beard, so I have this little... I'll grab it right now. It's like right over there. Look at him. He's so cute. So it's Funko Pop-esque. And it makes me really happy. Anyway, he's going to hang out over there on the dash. Okay, so he acts what Christmas is. So he acts as Santa to everyone because he thinks Christmas is about being really, really nice. Yay! Yeah, that makes me like Martian Manhunter even more. Anyway, I went as Miss Martian, who's actually a white Martian, so one of the bad guys. But then she's good. It's all good. Because I thought it'd be fun. Also, I wanted a red wig. 210 here. Whoa! You guys are hardcore. Thanks for hanging out. Okay, hold on. You're both burning the midnight oil. The UK? What? So we've got people from like all over the world here hanging out. That makes me happy. Same thing. So where's I from? UK, whatever else. Portugal! Yes. English is very good, my friend. Yeah, Mr. Dave Beard's Canadian. I'm Canadian as well. We're up, like, North Canada, where it's minus 40 in the winters. I do not live in an igloo, however. I do see moose on a regular basis, but I do not have a pet one. I don't think anyone does. They're pretty freaky. Watched YouTube videos in English a long time. That's a great way. You love Canada. Yo, have you been? Family in Alberta. Cool. I was only in the UK once. And it was in passing. I also have family in Alberta. I think it's a little less impressive when you live in BC. Negastorm. I'm in British Columbia, and Alberta is the province right next to us. I'm actually right near the border, so we're quite close. Just so you know. I was only in the UK once, in passing, on my way to India, and I was in the Heathrow airport, and we hung out a little bit. And I got to see Phantom of the Opera live I think it was in Her Majesty's Theatre. And it was amazing. I would love to spend more time traveling UK area. I think it'd be wonderful. You guys want some of our forest fires? Actually, we have a ton right now. I woke up and went to go put my garbage can outside, and there was like soot and ash on my garbage can just from floating in the air. There's like so many fires right now. It's quite sad. You got our own fires. Yeah, it's super smoky. My country's a stove. I don't imagine, my words got mixed up. I can imagine what is the hottest for you. I come from Scotland originally, and then I live in Italy for a year, then back to Scotland. Oh, can I come visit you? In Scotland? Oh, you have a Scottish accent. Come through on chat. I totally couldn't tell. Wow, it is chat. Oh, I want to come visit you. Our word fankle is Scottish. So Oxford Dictionary tells me. That makes me really... I've always wanted to go to Scotland. Mr. Dave Beard's family is like through and through Scottish. They're Munros. So I think it'd be amazing. Do you have a pet claymore? No. I have a cat. Oh, like our Palico. Heyo. I have a tortoise. Pets are fun. Very cool. Okay. Mildly distracted. I'm doing the bow now. I think that's sweet. We're all over the world hanging out. Cool. Yeah, I don't know if I could do the heat, Negastorm. I am a cold-blooded through and through. Like 15 degrees Celsius is my happy zone. But it kind of like when you're coming out of winter here, as soon as it's like +5, everyone's walking around in sweaters. You see some people in shorts, which is a little much for me, but we're all like, it's so warm. Because when it's been like -25 all winter, +5 is like, woohoo. It's just going into -5 that's cold. But I mean, I love snuggling up by a fire with a book and hot chocolate. Okay, this part is black, so I'm going to leave that as well. So I think I just have brown left. Yes? Yes. I just have brown left. But I love it. I love snuggling up and snow forts and skiing and all of it. A 7-year-old fish in a rock. I love the pet rock. I'm rooted for Portuguese. I have a tortoise. I wear a t-shirt and 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 t I had a cat growing up that would fight a stray cat that would always annoy us. My cat was with Selena, because she was a girl, and the stray cat called Kyle. Sorry, I was like, Selena, like, Catwoman, and then the fact that the stray cat was Kyle. Oh, Batman, you just made me really happy. I am also quite the Batman nerd myself. So that is wonderful. Which is about as close to pet rock you can get, I think. My granddad thought a brick was his pet rat for over a year or so. Oh, very interesting. Brown. And brown, and then we're putting ink on it. Wow, I'm going to actually finish one in one stream. That's really exciting. My brain is a little like, woo! Actually, no. I was going to go for this dark brown, but I'm going to do the light one because it's more earth-toned. And I don't usually get a whole ton done. I'm going to do the cat, and then I think if I'm feeling really ambitious, maybe I'll do another stream and do a background for the cat. But for right now, my goal is the cat. My Palico. Okay, and then this one is dark around the edge. And again, it's kind of walnutty and has like this weird texture in it. Oh, and the ladybug head is black as well, so I will leave that for ink because I love the way that black ink looks. It just kind of jumps out. I'm like a Quillen ink inker. I haven't used an actual like pen to do any drawing in a long time. Unless I'm like sitting somewhere and I just have a sketchbook and I'm really bored. But yeah, I also had an art teacher that I really liked. And we did a project in pen and ink, and I was like, ugh, this is going to be so boring, and I did it, and I don't know what it is when you find a medium that works for you, but I found it and was like, I'm in love. Awesome name. I see your Batman adoration extends beyond your Twitch name. Lizards! You don't know anything about comics. The thing about comics, too, though, is if you have a vague understanding of the movies, you can get by pretty easily. I didn't know a lot about comics until I met Mr. Dave Beard, who thoroughly educated me. Mostly I just read and did my homework. You is going to learn a lot about it here. Welcome, Comic Books 101. I don't know a whole lot. I haven't read too many. I've read a lot of Batman. I did the Batman and Superman universe comics. Ooh, the Marvel that I've read The Runaways, which is kind of an obscure one, but it's amazing. And apparently there's a TV show coming out, and I am excited. Lizards are neat, but expensive in the long term, and a huge time commitment. Yeah. And storage commitment. If you want to have a comic book collection, those things are heavy. Hard to move. Bookshelves, they make good decorations. You didn't catch my tragic love story that was followed by my friend's tragic love story. Whisper it, my friend. It's too long. Another time. My sister only knows about the X-Men. She's a fantastic X-Men geek, but she only likes the movie, the first 3. Yeah, I enjoyed the X-Men as well. Oh, I forgot to do my Palico's nose. That's okay, I have more water. Okay, this strap is going off to the side, and then there's one that's just underneath here. I find, like, when you know people that are, like, into comics, they will educate you. So, I mean, hence why, like, Mr. Dave Beard's the one that educated me. I didn't know anything about Batman, and so he taught me about Batman, and I taught him how to play guitar. So I think that's a fair exchange. But, I enjoy them. The artwork, I think, really turned my crank. That's an expression I heard the other day, and I thought it was funny. But yeah, there's something about, like, the stories are good, but there's something about the art in comics where you just kind of sit there and go, like, wow. Also, drawing something over and over and over again, I think, I mean, that's how you get so good, I guess. Okay. Where am I? The nose. I'm going to do the little pink nose. That's what I'm missing. But, little pink nose. That is really pink. Okay, hold on. I'm just going to pull some of that off there with a tissue. There we are. Excellent. I think it's time for ink. Inking's my favorite part. Hold on, let me dry it. This is a very technical art technique. Just kidding. It's not. It's probably fine. The nice thing about a dry palette for watercolors is it dries super quickly, which I appreciate. All right, hold on. I'm behind. X-Men. Was Raven, so she got a lot of X-Men fans. My nickname is my last name. I'm not really proud of it. Oh, that's okay. My first name is Sarah, and I always was kind of bummed because, you know, there's names where it's like for Mr. Dave Beard, there's like Dave and David, and I was like, I always wanted a nickname growing up, but Sir Mr. Dr. Moose is just fun. Coolest Comic-Con experience for me, a pro writer. Who would win in a fight between Batman and Superman? His answer was fantastic. I can imagine. Depends on who is writing the story, because it could go either way, depending on how the story is written. The longest time was also my last name, but ended up being Big Dave for a while. It seemed no matter where I went, for a period of 5 years, people just started calling me that. I'm glad that part of my life is over. Whatever you say, Big Dave. Dum, dum, dum. It has come back. Oh. Jeez. Okay, I'm just gonna grab my ink here. There it is. See what you did there? Entered Snegastorm's last name here. But two can play on that game. On Twitch I'm called Bats and Batsy. Can I call you Batsy? Because I also love Harley Quinn. Hey, Mr. Oh, is it the Bats? Batsy. Hey, Mr. J. Okay. I love that. Oh. I'm afraid to say your last name because I'm afraid to mispronounce it, because that's something I've been known to do. I'm going to stick with Negastorm. Okay, what I'm using, if you haven't seen before, old school quill and ink. You got two prongs that separate. The ink is held up here in the little curve, and it delivers the ink. This is just a big old vial of calligraphy ink. And I'm going to just fill this in and play with my heart's content. This is kind of where crosshatch creations came from, because crosshatching is a type of shading where two lines just cross each other, and I do a lot of that with ink. It's very, I just thought I almost got ink on my face. Don't eat it, ladies and gentlemen. The sun just went down. That was crazy. Squirrel. Anyway. Words and things. If I forget things, feel free to remind me. Harley calls B-Man! That's what it is. Hey, B-Man. Batman 12A. Because there's 12 A's. It translates to milk. Oh! I need to be taken down. Looks pretty good when written down. Call me whatever you want. Just so we... I'll leave now. Are you heading out? Are we saying farewell? No. I'm just all over the place. Clueless. Oh well. It's probably more Batman references. Ooh. I really love Batman, the animated series. It has a very special place in my heart. I think that's my favorite Joker ever. Because it's wonderful. Isn't it, oh, Hamill. What's that first name? The guy who plays Luke Skywalker. Good grief, why I can't remember it. I'm actually not going to do the other side. I like how that looks. And I'm just going to throw in some texture here. On his little antenna. Hello! There we go. Okay. And this guy too. I'm a lefty, so I work right to left so I don't smudge things, and I work top to bottom for the same reason. I'm officially really tired. That is fair if it is 2 a.m. Thanks for hanging out. It was great to know you, and thanks for sharing your story, albeit sad one. It was great to meet you. A skilled assassin who only takes contracts on the lactose intolerance. They call him Milk. I feel like this is a story that needs to be told. And I'm a fan of it already. Because I think that's amazing. Okay. Yeah, I'm just basically filling in the gaps, adding some detail, a little bit of shading, just to make things more. 2:40 here and I need sleep. Yeah! I'm gonna see how far I can go. Well, don't push yourself. You don't have to, Nagastorm. Feel free to sleep. I am totally a supporter of sleeping. Awesome. Well, thanks again for hanging out. It was awesome to meet you. I love the all around the world friendships. It makes me super happy. Well, sweet dreams for your days to come. Well, mostly just tonight. Okay, adding in some shading. There's like little like walnutty shaped things here. See you! Toodle-doodles. Here's hoping you all you are. Woo! Here's hoping all you here are as well. Awesome. See you later! Batman. Man. Got this in. Throw in the extras. Okay, this is going to be fun because this is when the black comes in and then you get to play with different shading techniques. Inking is my favorite part. I mostly draw so I can ink things. I gotta work my way there though. But I love it. That's my very detailed reason for why is I just do. Alright. And this back part's really dark, so I'm actually just going to do some subtle cross-hatching. I'm not going to make it completely black because I think it needs a little bit of texture. Put on a song? You can! I'm going to warn you. My last couple streams, I have been attempting to figure out how to. I'm relatively new at this, and I have not yet mastered how to have music going. But you do get, I do have, I believe you get like a free song request. So, solved. So I'm pretty sure the command, I think it's !song request or something. I'm going to click on your song and I will listen to it here and we can all listen to the song. Oh, hold on, my headphones are on. This looks epic. I'm just wearing headphones for the fun of it, guys. Okay, here we go. I'm starting it over because this looks wonderful. Is this all the same person? I love acapella. This is wonderful. All right. I love Irish accents, and there's this big part of me that's trying to learn how to do one, and it's not going super well. But it's very wonderful to listen to. So, I'm trying to listen in and chat. This is testing my multitasking skills. But I'll just jam out. The thing with watercolors is they kind of pick up onto the quill. and sometimes clog it. So every now and then I will have to pull paint out of the tip of my quill because it won't flow anymore. Alright, and we're gonna do... There we go. His little head. And for this one, I think I'm gonna do... What kind of texture do I want to do? Hello, electronic. Hello. It's not seeing my face. It's round, so I think I'm gonna do round textures because I want it to look ovular. Is that a word? Yeah, it's round. It's kind of got like a speckly texture as well. Oh no! His arms and legs are gone. That's too bad. So I'm just doing little circles here, and they cross over each other, and we'll just keep doing that until it gets dark enough. And there is a little circle around the eye as well, so I'm actually just going to fill that in with it. Ooh. Is it playing? I just opened the link. I'm just listening to it myself. It's not on stream. My goal this weekend is to figure out how on earth to get my music to work. So I can hear your song. Can't hear a thing. Yeah, it's probably not playing through the stream. I have some like hardcore tech issues. But I can try. Let me give this guy some circles around his eyes. On Spoofy. I don't think I have Spoofy. It's wonderful though. Okay, let's try this. I'm going to take your link and put it right here. Add. I do lots of art stuff. Okay. Cool. Hold up. Oh, it's over there in the corner. Can you hear it now? I can see the video hiding in the bottom there. Okay, well, we'll watch the little guys dancing in the corner. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not, but that's okay. I'm enjoying it, needless to say. Da Vinci's Notebook, a silly song and a smile in your face. Can't hear it. Yeah, I'm sorry. I haven't figured out how to do music yet. It's my biggest challenge in my streaming world. I've tried a couple times, but I think I might just have to change my source for how I'm putting my music in. So keeping it darker on this side, but we can definitely hold on to it, and I'll jam out over here. I'm using Stream Elements right now, but I also have Streamlabs, so I believe they do music as well, so I might just have to switch over. Or do some more research on how to get this to work. One or the other. I'm doing another stream on Monday, so hopefully by then we'll get her figured out. Okay, and that gives it a nice fun texture for our kitty. Oh, and I have a bunch of paint stuck in my quill. You can kind of see it there. It's just the big, it's supposed to come to a point, not a big round slab. So. See the video? Yeah, it's hanging out. If you played it, you should just have to turn on the PC sound, and that should do it. Oh, so then my mic would pick it up. Yes. I don't know how nice that'll sound. Here. We can do that. I feel like that's a great compromise for the moment. I will move my mic over, and my PC sound, I don't know how well this mic will work for that. But, oh, and I'll have to turn this off, because this is Bluetooth. Okay. It's white. Turn that up. There you go. Hopefully that doesn't sound too choppy. Feel free to let me know. Okay. We are back here. To these spots. Music should play, and the stream should pick up the sound of the headphones. Right? It really should. That looks like it's really loud. I know, I've like played with it a couple times, but it's probably something like really simple. And I'm just not quite there yet. But again, I will figure it out for you. Me and my newbiness. Been doing this for a couple weeks, but I'm having quite a blast. I'm enjoying it a lot. Oh, and there's my face in the stream again. Hey guys! It might be. Here, we'll just do this. The music's not working. I find... Go away, leg! Go away, leg! Did that help? Maybe me playing a YouTube video made my computer go, no. And then it stopped going. Too many things to think about, and it got confused and lost. It's like me trying to, like, keep up with conversation. Confused and lost. Sorry. That's alright. Okay. Coming down and around. This is going to be black as well. I'm not going to fill that in because then I will smudge it and it will get everywhere. It's the YouTube, possibly. Yeah, that was my thought too. Maybe the YouTube got it all like mashed her all up. Okay. I really like how this like shading looks, so I'm not going to put too much ink on it because I want to keep that color. And here we have a leaf. I actually have some lilies of the valley in my backyard. They've gone wild and taken over my lawn, and I had to dig a bunch of them up. They're quite pretty, though. I just... Lighting fixed. It's back! Spotify might be lighter. Ooh, I do like Spotify quite a bit. I will look into how to link that, because I have seen other streamers link to their Spotify account as well. But sometimes you get, like, interesting things on Spotify. I love that it's like, here's some music you like. And here's some that you might like as well. And it's like finding music that I already like. And adding to it. It makes me happy. Bad YouTube. Stop. Yeah. Come on, YouTube. That's alright. Maybe it was my internet too. Alright. Well, regardless, it was a very fun song. Acapella just blows my mind. I've done a little bit of theater and we've done some harmony stuff, and it's kind of tough to sing a different line than someone else who's standing right next to you and not singing the same thing. Especially because my vocal range, it's called mezzo-soprano. Oh, you know music theory, so I'm not even, like, having to say anything. A meme playlist with 8 hours of music. How do you make a meme playlist? Is it, like, themed? Anyway, so mezzo-soprano, I'm, like, right in between alto and soprano, so I always got the really weird harmony lines to sing. So it was kind of like, oh. And then my favorite moment ever is I was in one play and they're like, the mezzos get the melody. And I was like, I don't have to sing the weird harmony? What is this madness? It was a good moment. Except then none of the sopranos knew how to sing harmonies, so they all ended up singing my line anyway. Because sopranos usually always get the melody. Close the YouTube tab. Is it also still causing issues? Go away. It's gone. It's gone forever. I have destroyed it. Not destroyed it. I just closed it. Let's do that. That should help a lot, actually. That sounds horrifying. Fresh memes and go to the recommended list. And watch it grow into an 8-hour list. Is it just like a meme spam? Crazy. All right. I will do that. Okay, trying not to smudge a ton of colors. Also, my ink is stuck in my quill. Bad. Okay, I think we have fixed the problem. Wow, that sure got us in a fankle. Word of the day. Seamless plug. All right. I like questions. Okay, what are you craving right now? Actually, there's this yellow curry that you can buy like pre-made it's like a paste and you just add coconut milk to it. My family used to eat it all the time growing up, and then they stopped selling it locally. And all day, I've just been craving curry. I just really want curry. I don't know why. But like yellow curry. But this one brand of yellow curry. Woohoo! Mr. Lube. Oh, hey! A fellow Mr. in the username. Sir, Mr. Doctor, Mr. Lube. Thanks for the follow. You just got some globs. Woohoo! I love me some globs. Okay. Anyway, curry. So I was talking to my boss about it, and she said that she thinks she saw it at a store in town. So my plans for after streaming, I kid you not, is to go and search all of the grocery stores in town. Because my town is really small, and it takes about 20 minutes to get from one side to the other. I don't know how I would manage in a town that was large and took hours to get places. But I'm going to go and I'm going to search for this curry because my taste buds are like, this needs to happen right now. Do you have a favorite food, Negastorm? I am, okay, I need to make sure I'm doing this right. Okay, this has a little line through it. And we're going to go this way. And we're going to go this way. Cool. Make sure I'm not shading this goofy. And we're going to fill these lines in too. I don't know if I have a favorite food because I like a lot of food. Cool. Alrighty. Just adding to the side again. There is some color texture, but I like the wood. And I'm going to throw just some straight lines here. I don't want it super dark. Just enough to give it some depth. And I didn't finish the ink on this guy's head. I'm stoked. Usually I have to like... Sushi! Me too. Seriously. What's your favorite kind? Are you like hardcore sushi? Where you go like nigiri, raw salmon kind of thing? Or you like, do you like the like specialty rolls that are like the deep fried? My favorite, there's one place in town that does it differently. It's a crazy roll, so it's like a California roll with a shrimp. With shrimp in it, and then it's breaded in tempura and deep fried. And it's served hot. And it's really, really good. And it has like a spicy mayo on it. Recently, I tried making sushi. And I made a dessert sushi with like the candy fruit roll up, rice, just sushi rice, watermelon and Nutella. Oh, dessert sushi is delicious with fruit in it. And it was a little weird. I was like, rice with fruit. I'm a little tentative, but it was good. It was really good. All of them, yeah, me too. Except the fried ones. Oh, not the crazy roll. Get lost, crazy roll. Okay, eyeballs. I'm just going to wash this because ink dries really fast. Oh, and this looks really cool. It's like, woo. I'm actually going to grab a smaller quill. This is my tiny quill. So you can kind of a little bit see the comparison there in tip size. So this one's great for detail. It doesn't love working with watercolors too much. There's a big hair in there. That's funny. Because it gets clogged quite easily because it's so small. But that's okay. Tempura mostly has a Portuguese origin. So, ha! Do you have any, like, traditional... What's, like, a traditional Portuguese dish? 'Cause I want to know. I feel like Canada's mostly just maple syrup. It's maple everything. You go to a store... And we have maple cookies. We have maple marshmallows. Yeah, I know. Which make amazing Rice Krispie squares. Seamless. Maple plug. Come on now. This one's being stubborn. So I'm just going to do this until it gets the ink to flow. I know it's in there. Because it's not wanting to cooperate. It also might be a little old. My ink might also be too old. There it is. Aw, decided not to work. Who would have thought that a dip pen, you'd have to like do the whole like testing a pen thing, hey? There we go. Okay, we are rocking and rolling. Just needed a little encouragement. As we all do from time to time. I don't know if there's a lot of, I have too many to count. Well, that's good. What's your favorite? What is one of your favorite, like, you hear that that's being made for supper and you're like, score. Or it's like on special at a restaurant. What's one of your top picks? My dad growing up was a hunter. And so we did eat a lot of moose meat, which I love. It's a lot less, it's not as heavy as beef. And when you get a good one, sometimes they're a little gamey, but when you get a good one, it's got a really light flavor to it. It is a lot like beef, just like less fatty and more lean, which I like a lot. I don't know if we have a Canadian dish. Ooh. What's something very Canadian-y? I think maple is kind of the big seller. There's a lot of that. I've had friends who came over for like foreign exchange, and every now and then they're like, I'm out of maple cookies. Can you please send me some? Like, yeah, I can't think of much. Mr. Dave Beard, can you think of any like Canadian dishes, like aside from maple cookies? I've talked about moose meat a little bit. Favorite Portuguese dish? Okay, I'm sorry if I say this horribly. Is it Chechnya? I probably butchered that. But what is it? What's in it? What does it taste like? Aside from delicious. Because now, I love trying new food. Like, when I was in India, there was lots of mango stuff, and oh my word, I love mango. There's not a lot I don't like when it comes to food, let's be real. Alright, so I'm using the little quill because it's a lot more, with eyes, I find there's so many little, like in your irises, there's so many little details that I don't want to use the big heavy quill because it actually sometimes puts so much ink on the page that I lose the color entirely, which makes me sad. And because it's a cat, pupils aren't totally round because I want them to have that cat shape. Okay, hold on. It's a sandwich filled with meat, covered in cheese, and a special sauce. That does sound amazing. I kind of want to Google it and try a recipe. Even though I don't know what it should taste like, so I don't know if I could do it justice, but it sounds fantastic. There's a little bit of shading there, so I just threw that in. And his eye is a little more square up here, so I'm going to add that as well. Got a little like fleck of paper hanging out on my quill and it looks kind of funny. There we go. A little more square-like. And while I have the little quill, I'm going to do the mouth and the nose as well. And then the rest of it, I'm going to do the big quill. So it'll go a little bit faster after that as well. My family is Mennonite in heritage. Which is kind of like German / Russian / Swiss, kind of all over the place. And one of the dishes that's very traditional is called plumamousse. I used to think it was puma mousse. And then my mom would look at me. It's like stewed fruit. And she loves it. And I think it's because it's nostalgic. But every time I've had it, I'm like, ooh. It's just like, I don't like cooked fruit. That's something I don't like, is cooked, like, pie. I know. I'm like that crazy person. Ooh, a link. Oh my gosh, when you don't mean halfway when you say covered in cheese. It's like just cheese. That looks incredible. Is the sauce is red? Is it kind of like meat stocky or is it like spicy? But it looks fantastic. Poutine. Duh, poutine. Poutine is delicious. It's like, if you don't know, it's fries covered in gravy with cheese curds. Ketchup chips, Nanaimo bars. Ooh, those are good. Chocolate, it's basically butter with chocolate. Beaver tails. Fiddleheads are ferns that have just sprouted and you pickle them. Tim Hortons Kraft Dinner. Kraft Dinner's Canadian? The whole world doesn't have Kraft Dinner. Wow, this is me in my cultural bubble. The most standard, yeah, it looks so good. Are you like now like really craving one? Oh, that is a way better picture. That looks amazing. Okay, obviously I need to finish this picture so I can go eat food. That's funny. Okay, let's finish the mouth here. And I think I might do the bow tie with the little one too. All right, mouth first, Sarah. Yeah, if you haven't had ketchup chips, we have chips that taste like ketchup. And people eat ketchup with like grilled cheese sandwiches as well. I hear that that's kind of a Canadian thing. There we go. And we got our little mouth. And he's a little furry. And I realized I did not put into consideration whiskers. So I'm just going to do that right now. I'm just going to throw in some whiskers. Really light, because I don't want them to be like, hello! I think everyone has Kraft Dinner maybe, but it comes from Canada. The sauce is just a bunch of alcoholic drinks that are brewed. So they, ooh. That sounds good. That sounds really good. I'm a huge fan of flambe. So, I'm game. I think my town is too small and that there is no, like, Portuguese restaurants. But the next time that I'm in a big city center, I'm definitely going to be hitting up Google Maps and being like, take me somewhere Portuguese because I need to try this sandwich. Like now. I'm from the company where there are regions that eat snails, sea snails. Sea snails, is that like escargot? because I have tried escargot. I think I had it overcooked because the texture was really rubbery. And I've heard some people say that they really, really like it. But I would love to try it again. I was always told that you should always try everything twice because if you didn't like it the first time, you probably had it cooked wrong. Which I think is some sound advice. I'm just adding some shading around his face here. He's also furry, so I don't want him to be flat. I'm just kind of like throwing it in where my brain tells me to. And a little bit of up here too. There, now he's got a face. Little kitty cat face. A bunch of different types of wine. Oh, yeah. That I did kind of know. I refuse to eat snails. That is fair. That is fair. I've had frog legs. Those are actually pretty good. Tastes like chicken, which is what everyone says, but they do. They're like greasy chicken. Oh, man. That's funny. It was like, the reason I had escargot was because I was on a cruise. And they had like this one part of the menu that's like things you've probably never tried before or whatever. And it was all this like crazy weird stuff. So we had rabbit and escargot, frog legs, swordfish, which was actually quite tasty. So, yeah, it was good. It was an adventure, for sure. I did need a little convincing. I can't say that I willingly ate the snail. It did take a little bit of push on Mr. Dave Beard's part to get me there. But I got there, mildly against my will. That's my favorite moment, is when you stick ink into water and it just kind of like into it. It looks pretty neat. Okay, always wash your quills right away. I did not once, and I lost a quill because of it. I have a special quill cleaner now, so I'm going to try soaking it in that, but it's not coming up very easily. Eating their dumb snails. Why don't you tell us how you really feel? Good olive oil bread, cold meats, cheese, and cork. Ooh, what is cork? I don't know if I've heard of that before. I think my favorite cheese is Gruyere. Even though I really shouldn't eat cheese because my stomach doesn't like dairy very much. When I was in school, we had to do like a specialty burger. And we were doing like a French onion burger. So it was like a French onion soup, but in a burger. And so it had like those things called onion rings on it, and then Gruyere cheese, because that's what you put on traditional French onion soup. And and my job was to grate the cheese. And there's these little ends on the cheese that are a little harder than the rest. It's kind of like the casing, and it was still good to eat. But we weren't allowed to put it on the food because it wasn't the good quality. So it was like I sat there and ate the cheese as I grated it, which you probably aren't supposed to do. But it's really expensive cheese. I was a college student. So it was really good. Oh, you mean like literal corks? I thought it was like a fancy dish. But not for eating. Okay, I did know that. You never know. Maybe it was like potatoes that look like corks, which are really just tater tots. Let's be real. That's funny. Okay, little tiny kitty paws. And we're getting in here. My mom always collected corks, and I never understood why, but then she made like a cork board out of little corks, and I was like, that was a very reuse things. Bags and shoes and hats and others. Oh, I haven't seen a cork bag. I've definitely seen shoes, hats. For badminton, I was told the best birdies for badminton have the cork tip. and that the plastic ones don't work as well as the cork. So, no eating it though. Okay, so this is just black. I want this to come around like that because it's round. Believe it or not. And the rim here, I'm going to match that up to this kind of shadow that's going on right there, is black. So we're just going to load the ink onto that part. And then the rest we will shadow. So I'm going to shadow first. Similarly to the same, because it's kind of all the same armor, so I want to keep the texture the same, because that kind of says, hey, this is the same. And then this is just going to be black. Quills work best when pulled down. Pushing them up, you kind of doesn't flow right. If I'm moving back and forth with a quill, it's mostly because the ink has been released on the downstroke, and I'm pushing that ink around to fill in the space that I'm putting the ink on. So I might be like, yeah, you said it only works down, but you're going back and forth. Haha! I'm actually just pushing it around. I'm cheating. What I need to do, toast a slice of bread and slap some olive oil on it. It's divine. It takes some getting used to. I have tried that. It is divine. Not just with bread, though. I did it with focaccia bread. It was quite delicious. But you have to get good olive oil if you're going to do that. Olive oil toast. Breakfast before going by tractor to the olive fields. Is that what you do? Do you work in an olive field? Do for oil. I mean, you eat it and then you see it all day. It's perfect. No, it is quite good. I don't know if you do cinnamon toast at all. That's something we had a lot. It's basically you butter a piece of toast and you put brown sugar on it and cinnamon, and that's it. And the brown sugar kind of melts into the butter. And it's really stinking good. But I was told that Canadians eat a lot of sugar. It's because we're so sweet. It's all the maple. Okay, I got a lot of, like, paint stuck in my quill. What's up in your grill? Paint. Come on. Okay, so I have very dark, and then behind here is dark as well. So I'm going to go for a medium dark to shadow in the back. Actually, I'm going to change textures too. So I'm going to do lines instead of the circles. Just to say, hello, I'm a different area. Cross-hatching. Okay, good. Not lost in my own little world and missing out. Also, French toast is delicious. We're just going to talk about food. It's that kind of time for me. I mean, I don't think 2, 3 in the morning is necessarily breakfast. Well, that's kind of breakfast. I'd say that's breakfast. It's just about my supper time. It was your grandparents. When I was at their village, we used to go there for the whole day in the middle of the winter to catch olives. Oh, boy, nice. I have a feeling that it wasn't a pleasant experience. That's pretty cool, though. That your family had olives. All of the other ones. I love olives. I can seriously sit down with a jar of green olives and just eat them. Just as a snack. Just like that. It is delicious. The stripes, I think I'm just going to do on the cat. The stripes on the cat is what I'm talking about. Straight up and down lines to kind of give it a furry look. No, I'm cross-hatching it too. Because that's what I do. And I'm not going to actually make it a straight line as well. I'm just going to kind of make it look furry. So these ones are going to make look furry too. Because it's a cat, and cats have fur. A very scientific fact for you, right there. Hello, electronic. I cannot see the claws on this cat, so we're not going to do those. Give it a little arm. Oh, cute. And that looks actually really funny. This part here looks really funny on the camera. Huh. Catch olives. Are they fast? I don't really like to go to the village. It's kind of slow. It's cold in the winter and scalding in the summer. So the best of both worlds. If they fall down the hill. So you just chase after them? Like basically all the olives that fall, you have to run after? That does sound like something that grandparents would make their kids do. Okay. Go get them. But, yeah. I had a friend whose family grew fescue, which is basically a fancy word for grass. And for part of her summer, or the springtime before they planted, her job was to walk through like acres of fields and pick rocks. Because they didn't want the rocks to like hurt the combines. So she just like walked and picked rocks, and I was like, I'm really sorry, that sounds really miserable, but you know, you grew up on a farm and it's like, okay, this is what we're doing today. Free labor is your children. Oh, my head's not in it. Yeah. But I don't know, I feel like if you have like a musical device that you could play you could just listen to podcasts all day. I'm quite a fan of podcasts, so you could just get really educated. My nose is itchy. It was also your parents and your uncle. Oh, okay, so you all kind of pitched in. You put the nuts under the trees and then use the machine to shake the tree, and use the same thing for almonds. Huh, so you've had almonds like fresh off the tree. I'm jealous. I love almonds. That's pretty neat. So then you know that the ones you're picking are ripe, right? Because then they come off loosely. And that's why you'd shake it, is my assumption. That's pretty neat. Well, at least it was like a team effort. It wasn't just the grandkids. But, yeah, chasing them down hills might be a little... I mean, you get your exercise in, that's for sure. I feel like I'm learning so much. That's so interesting. I believe where I live, olives do not grow. Actually, fruit doesn't grow here either. It does more down south, but not where we are. Better than trying to pick them by hand. That's true, actually. I feel like that would be very slow going. And a little bit painful if you had to pick them by hand. Okay. I'm just playing with textures. There's nothing really to it. Just throwing in some... Kind of this is where I like to add some folds of the fabric, a little bit of the shading, a little bit of definition. It's pretty cartoony looking. Facing off to the side. Alrighty. Ganache. Where does this end? Oh, there we go. It got really light. I wasn't quite sure where I was going there. If by fresh off the tree you mean in a place 300 kilometers away from my actual houses, then yes. Is that what everyone means by fresh off the tree? We didn't play with money for them. Right now, we don't really go there anymore. Oh, okay. I think that's what all the grocery stores mean when they describe everything as fresh. Yeah. Most fresh things have been frozen, from what I've heard. Yeah. Well, I mean, if you didn't really like it, I guess it's not too bad then. If you're not going out there as much as you used to. I'm really curious, how hot does it get in Portugal? Like, what's your hottest? Here it's kind of like, we're in Celsius. I'm not sure what you guys are in. we're about 30 degrees. It's kind of our hottest. We don't usually go much higher than that, and it's also not very hot for very long. Up in our northern spaces. Okay, I'm gonna not forget to do this side before I move on, so I don't smudge. Alright, oh, and I gotta finish his little strappy here. These also have a bit of folds in them. We're just gonna throw some of that in there, and I'm not gonna do a whole lot, because the colors do a lot of it, so. Okay. Black vest time. This one is also entirely black. I'm gonna go around. Wow, that was not a good circlet. Oh, go around the button. I'm holding my pen too tight. Relax. In the north and in the interior of the country, it goes from like -15 to 40 degrees C. Wow, so like kind of all over the place, kind of like we are, hey? But 40 is much hotter than what I'm used to. I've only been in 40 once, and it was humid, and it was very painful. Like the cold, I find, but this is because I grew up in it, right? So I'm used to it. But the cold, I find, I can always put on more clothes to keep warm and trudge through the snow. And if you're trudging fast enough, then your body heat builds up and then you get warm. But like in the heat, I just don't know how to handle it. It's like there's only so many layers you can take off and be allowed to walk outside in public. So so what do you do? I find it saps my energy. I get really quiet. Portugal is an all over the place country. Yeah, for sure. I mean, even just the province that I'm in, it's like there's parts of it that are desert and there's other parts that are like tundra and some that have amazing fruit. We call it the Okanagan. So I feel ya. And the world's a crazy place, hey? Gotta be all over the place. So this top one, since it has the buttons, I'm doing all the way dark, and then the other one I'll do a little less, just so you can tell that separation apart. Oops. Whenever I see buttons, I think of the movie Coraline now. I think of the button eyes. Creepiness. Except for large amounts of anime and manga stores. Because why would there be? Yeah. I bet. I don't know if we have just manga and anime stores. I feel like I'm echoing. This is weird. Can I hear myself? Ooh. Maybe I've had my earplugs for too long and now it's just like the whole world. Sounds weird. We have lots of like comic book stores that also have like a manga section. But no, like, I mean, they might have bigger centers. There's, especially on the coast. We're kind of close to Japan on this side of our country, so. Ta-da! Bloop. Okay. That would be a cool place to visit. Just eat sushi all the time. Because sushi's awesome. I must be hungry. Okay, we're just about there. I'm just gonna add another sleeve here. Oh, no. It was just my ears. I'm not echoing. I'm just going a little bit crazy. Just a little bit. Okay, adding a little more there. And now we need another kitty paw. Hello, kitty paw. How's it going? Paws are so cute. I'm not like a crazy cat person, but paws are adorable. Especially like the underside of paws. Actually, my tortoise's feet are pretty cute too. They look like little dinosaur legs. This is my thinking vase, apparently. Your persistence to not say a single curse word is amazing. Thanks. Alright. I really enjoy saying farts. And oh bother. Because I got a little bit of Pooh Bear in me. Alright, here we go. So back here is going to be completely black. Because it's a shell. And it's shaded in. There we go. This is a crazy weird cat. I feel like anyone who doesn't know Monster Hunter would look at this cat and be like, what the heck is she drawing? Some cat that, like, maybe, like, chased after bugs too much and decided it was gonna turn the skin of its victims into armor. Like, cats chase after bugs and eat them, don't they? Is that just a dog thing? No, cats totally do that. Okay, making this side match the other, I am going to cross-hatch like the other side. Me and Bits aren't capable of doing that. Oh. I just like taking really weird words and using them as curse words. Mostly because, if I was to curse, it would be because I was rather upset. So then if I say something goofy, then it makes me laugh, and then I'm less upset. What is going on? What is happening? Do I have a mod? I don't know what's going on. There you go. I'm not sure what just happened. I'm kind of new to the chat, so did it not let you say something? I'm sorry. I don't know. I love all things creative. We'll put this in a positive spin. I love all things creative. And unlike you, Negastorm, I am not computer skilled. I am learning, for sure. So I may have had some stuff pre-set up when I opened my chat that I did not know about. Okay. So, we've got another edge on this side, just like we did on the other one. And it kind of blends into one. So you mentioned you played a lot of like puzzle and strategy games. Do you have a favorite? Well, it went through. That's all that matters. It's good to love words. All sorts of words. Like Fankle. Oh, I'm in a bit of a fankle. I'm going to say that next time I'm confused. And then people will look at me like, what? It's a great conversation starter is weird words. Okay, so this side is going to be not completely black because my light is coming from this side. So I'm going to do spots that are completely black and then some that are just kind of shaded. As a bit of an experiment. Maybe here we go. Done. And a little bit of shading on this side. Not a whole lot, because again, my light's on this side. And I tried pulling up and it didn't work. So we're gonna go down. Going down. A little bit of a scratch there. And now the top is more, it's darker than the other one. Just because of how our light is hitting. But again, we're going to do the roundabout because it is a round shaped object. I'm actually going to make that completely dark because with the ink, it was hard to tell the two apart. And I want it to be able to be defined, as we like to say. I don't know who we is. The royal we, as in me. Ooh, Hearthstone! We're big or small, it doesn't matter. Now I have to hear that song. I've heard of that one! I have friends that play it too. Oh, that's water. I want ink. I feel like the most strategic game that I can play is rock, paper, scissors. Actually, no, that's not true. I did say that I liked Risk. And Carcassonne. I really like board games. Even though they're not boring. I don't think they're boring. Depends on the game. I like cooperative games too, where you're like working with a team of people. Okay, we're almost there. Just about. I feel like theme songs kind of can like make or break something. I love a good theme song. Like, I played a lot of Harvest Moon, as I've mentioned a couple times. And it's my alarm clock. The one, like, spring song, it wakes me up in the morning. And I'm like, this is gorgeous. It's just beautiful. Okay, we've got little claws. So I'm going to throw those in. Oh, those look vicious. Vicious little things. You can play Solitaire 3 Peaks. Oh, okay, I know Solitaire is 3 Peaks, just like an intense version. And his legs are furry, so we're gonna do this and throw some fur. And I want this darker, actually. Now that I'm looking at it, his face looks a little too... Oh, there's my face. Hello, world. There's my face on the camera. Doesn't look defined quite the way I want it to. It looks a little too soft. That looks a little better. And maybe we'll throw it in here. But always better to add than be really sad because you can't take something away. That's a little better. Yeah. No. Leave it alone. I can't have a theme song because I have like many faces, many personalities. Actually, I was chatting with my boss the other day and we decided that it would be cool that if instead of asking someone how they were doing, if everyone just had a musical theme, but different ones depending on their mood. So then instead of having to ask someone how they were doing, their song would just play and you would just know. And that could be their theme song. Also, we were thinking this would work really well for finding friends. Because what if your song and their song played in the same key and then your songs harmonized? And then we were like, that is how you'd know if you were a good, like, match with someone. Or if you had, like, chemistry, is your songs would play. It would be wonderful. A song with many themes, all within one. Yeah, like a overture mix. Too many faces. But not just two faces, like Two-Face. That was my shout out to Batman. Batsy. Which might be a better shot. Although saying Batman is kind of fun. I've been enjoying it. Are your knees furry? Your knees are a little furry. Okay, kitty cat. You are almost done. Because my tummy is growling. Although now I really wish that I had like some sort of Portuguese connection so I could go have one of those sandwiches. I need to draw all of them, like sketch all of them. Let me count them. Ooh, and you can have like multiple like faces. It would be like the theater mask, but with like 7. That would be intense. Be pretty epic though. One of those like octagonal faces. Oh, that makes me happy. I had an art project once where we were supposed to make a mask. And so I took the cat mask. And so it looked like a cheetah. And then I like mixed a bunch of different kinds of like jungle cats. So it had a mane, like a lion. And it had a cheetah face and tiger stripes down the front. And it actually looked really cool. But it's more than 10. Your theme song was about the moon. It has many phases. Mysterious as the dark side of the moon. Da, 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 da. To be a man. Do, 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 do. Drawing them as different characters. Oh, okay, yeah. A little better than octagonal faces. I think that'd be sweet. I don't know if I've ever done like a self-portrait type thing. I just enjoy drawing fairies and cartoon characters and weird things, but I don't think maybe I should do that. I hear it can be a little like very introspective doing a self-portrait. I've drawn myself as a chibi, an adorable little creature. Oh, that's about it though. Oh, your neck has absolutely no shading. And it just looks funny. And I'm going to throw some in right there, I think. And, okay, I'll look at the screen. I'm just mentally deciding if I'm happy or not. Right here looks a little funky because I didn't finish that edge. So then it looked a little odd. And I want to blend that in here more too. I didn't really do anything on the helmet here. But I don't know, I kind of like it. That's where the light is hitting anyway. Whoa, okay, woo! I'll do that tomorrow in a few hours. Yeah, you're crazy. I've sketched a character. Yes! Almost 4 now? Oh, I love art. Oh! He looks sad. Oh, this is your soldier character out of your head. I like him. He looks sad, but he's cute. Great job on the feet angle there. I know that's the feet can be hard. Most excellent. It's 337. Whoo! You're a boss. I like your style too. Okay, well, I'm gonna say the cat is done. Are you just gonna like continue to not sleep? Or do you think you're gonna try and catch a few Z's before you move on with tomorrow? Ooh, let's not break our quill, Sarah. Come on now. Be a little careful. And I've decided I want to do a light little bit right there. Oh, but now I don't like it. Okay, walk away. Cool. He's missing an arm because I'm lazy. Yeah, you know, who wants their hand? Scott Pilgrim? No, I look like Scott Pilgrim's guy. It does, actually. Yeah, it definitely does. I can see it. I'm not going to do any texture on the ground because I might throw in a background. Yet to decide, but I might later. Okay. So, I am all finished. I think that's cool. Wow, sketched, painted, and inked all in one. What is this craziness? How far have we've been going for almost 4 hours. That would be why. If I go to sleep now or not sleep, I know that both ways I'll end up falling asleep and waking up at 11. I have nothing to lose. Perfect. I agree. Keep it up. Your stuff looks great. Awesome. Pics of my sketch wall. Ooh, do you have a wall just like covered in what you've drawn? Because I think that is sweet. I have like a pile somewhere. I've actually lost a lot of my art, which makes me really sad. Because it had some of my favorite pieces and it's just gone. It's in a box somewhere. Okay, well, I am going to go make some food now that we've discussed it. It was awesome hanging out with you, Negastorm, and anyone else who is watching. Making a Palico, some cute stuff. I will update my streaming schedule as soon as I'm done here. But I will be back Monday and probably Thursday, I believe is the other day. And sometimes I like jumping on Saturday, but for sure you can count on Monday. It doesn't have that much, but it's good enough for now. Oh, that's all you need. That's sweet. I wanted to put some up, and then there's this little part of me that's like, what if the sun changes its color? But I should just put some up instead of sitting in a pile. Better than a pile. Awesome. Cool. Okay. My tummy is grumbling, so I'm gonna head out. I hope you sleep or neither not sleep, Negastorm. Have an awesome morning / night wherever you are. And I will talk to you hopefully soon. It was awesome. And may the badges be ever in your favor. I don't know where they came from. It's just fun to end that way. Awesome. We'll see you later. Ciao. Toodaloo.